Namaskar. Good morning, esteemed doctors and technical team experts who have logged in to Nutriconnect. It's a beautiful Sunday morning and a great opportunity for me to coordinate this program.
Oh no, Sunday is a perfect day to refuel our soul and be grateful to each other. So here we are all assembled on a virtual platform to get connected. May 28th is celebrated as World Nutrition Day. We all understand the day is meant to create awareness about the importance of healthy and a balanced diet. In view of increasing incidence of metabolic syndromes like obesity, diabetes, fatty liver, PCO in teenage population, nutrition-related issues is very challenging to both practitioners as well as patients. That's because nutrition transition from traditional to modern diet is a significant factor and now contributing more towards the macro and the micronutrients. To understand and debate on this versatile topic, we have experts from our fraternity, Dr. Lakshmi Shrikande, chairperson of ICOG, who will be giving us an overview of nutrition, and Dr. Sheetal Joshi, nutritionist at Divakar Specialty Hospital, Bengaluru, who will take us back to balanced diet traditional way, and an expert of panel discussion, what everyone should know about nutrition, which will be moderated by an authority, Dr. Vidya Thobi, President of Kasoga, and Dr. Ritu Khanna, with a vibrant panelists around the country, which will be actually graced by our chief guest, Professor Dr. Revati Janakiram, who is recognized by her distinguished exemplary services for women health and creating awareness about nutrition from teenage to menopausal age since 2019. We have Dr. Mandakini Vidya Vibhushan awardee, and Dr. Sevanti Ghosh, a nutrition expert with 2.5 decades of experience. This platform of Nutriconnect is created by Kasoga under the leadership of vibrant President Dr. Vidya Thobi, who conceptualized the idea of connecting doctors, consultants, OBGYNs throughout the country with this concept on this occasion of World Nutrition Day, which is sponsored by Macprot with 2 credit points to all the attendees. I request Madam Dr. Vidya Thobi to welcome the consultants and connect us to this platform of Nutriconnect today. Over to you, Madam.
Namaskara. I am Dr. Vidya Thobi. I welcome you for this exclusive webinar on nutrition on this World Nutrition Day. I welcome you on behalf of Karnataka State Obstetrics and Gynecological Association. Today is a World Nutrition Day, and as said,
Dr. Vidya, can you little louder, please? Because I think audience people will not able to listen it properly.
Okay. Now I am audible.
Yeah, little louder. Yes.
Yes. Anna hai Purna Brahma. So today is a World Nutrition Day, and we are celebrating this World Nutrition Day in association with Karnataka Obstetrics and Gynecological Association with all the stalwarts. The doctor of the future will give no medicine, but will interest his patient in the care of human frame, that is in diet. India contributes a third of the global burden of undernutrition. Given India's population size, investing in actions to reduce all forms of malnutrition is very, very important. So we have certain targets, WHO targets, and we have to fulfill this to have a healthy future of our all population. Ensuring an easily accessible balanced diet to eliminate malnutrition has become more challenging for vulnerable communities as people living in poverty, women, children, and senior citizens. So we have got undernutrition as well as overnutrition. Additionally, we know our lifestyle, the different lifestyle at urban population and the poorer section, there is a lack of vitamin D in spite of so much sun rays in our country. There is a limited access to the fresh food. There are different lifestyles of different people. They have increased incidence of, as Dr. Sonia was pointing out, metabolic disorders, obesity, diabetes, cardiac diseases. And this burden of malnutrition seeks immediate attention to improve nutrition for the good health. Second thing is we have to embark upon the adolescent nutrition as well as pre-pregnancy nutrition, intrapartum care and postpartum nutrition, and pregnancy marks the beginning of first 1,000 days from the conception to the second year of the child. And this period is of intense physical growth and development, demands a larger and more nutrient-dense diet than the normal. So poor weight gain in pregnancy can lead to low birth weight, increased risk of illness, and all those complications, developmental delays, then cognitive impairment of the child. And equally, the excess weight gain can lead to very high risk birth. So we are focusing on transgenerational propagation as well. Healthy diets are associated with fewer pregnancy complications such as gestational diabetes, hypertension, and healthy childbirth. So we will sum up with saying that when a woman are healthy, can access resources, they should be empowered, they should be given a healthy diet, and one should invest in nutrition, nutritional education, and health of their family. So this definitely will help in our economic growth and development of societies. We also have the WHO targets, improving maternal, infant, and young child nutrition, which will be definitely deliberated by very good speakers today. And I welcome all the faculties on the board. So we have today our on the dais, the various people from Kasoga, dignitaries from Kasoga, our chief patron, Dr. M.G. Hireman, Dr. Nagaraj, our dean, KCOG, Dr. Hema Divakar, my team Kasoga, Dr. Rajashri Palladi, Dr. Suman Gaddi, my EC members, and various president secretaries of my all 20 societies are here. Then I have the honor of welcoming our chief guest, Dr. Revati Jankiram, guest of honor, Dr. Shevanti, and my dear madam, Dr. Mandakini Meg madam. We have got eminent speakers like Lakshmi Shrikhande, she is my dear friend, as well as our ICOG chairperson, Dr. Sheetal, who is going to deliberate on traditional food, how we can balance our diet. And again, I welcome my dear friend, Dr. Ritu Khanna, who is a chairperson, Food, Drugs, and Medico-Surgical Equipment Committee from Foxy, and all the panelists, all the delegates. And let us enjoy this nutritious discussion today on World Nutrition Day. Thank you very much, and over to Sonia again.
Thank you very much, ma'am. You highlighted the fact of under and over nutrition also. And to move forward and to ignite ourselves, we start with the blessings of Almighty with virtual lamp lighting. Light symbolizes prosperity and knowledge, and we all believe in knowledge sharing. So I request the technical team to move ahead with virtual lamp lighting. Thank you.
Voice is not audible. So can we, Ankita, can you stop the share sharing?
I think the audio system is wrong or something. I don't know what is.
I'll do that.
Thank you. May I now request Dr. Nagraj, we all address Dr. Nagraj as Bhishma Pitama of Kasoga, the pillar of Kasoga, to just bless us all in this occasion.
Sir, unmute yourself.
1 minute. One
Yes,
minute. Vijaya, I have to chair a session in the oration within 2 minutes.
So you want to speak? You want to speak first?
I want to bless.
So with the request to Dr. Revati and Dr. Sevanti, madam.
Sorry to. Because I'm chairing the session in Isar with Dr. Nandita, so they are calling me on the stage.
Okay, you wish us all the best and you can.
Yeah. So I think good morning everyone on this wonderful of the World Nutrition Day. And my dear friend Vijaya, none other than Vijaya can do justice to the nutrition. Doing so many programs of nutrition with me, with the government of India and other organizations, and also doing a nutritional course with Lakshmi. I think heads up to Vijaya, a wonderful thing, initiative. I want to give my respect to Dr. Hiremat, all the office bearers of the Kasoga, my dear friend Revati, Lakshmi, Ritu is doing a great job. And I think you have organized on a very, very appropriate day this world. I just want to say, as already has been said, that now we have the millets, the WHO and other people we are concentrating on the millets. We are so much concentrating on the nutrition. I was just giving a lecture in Thana that adolescent obesity is so much rampant. So nutrition becomes the core of all the treatments, whether it's diabetes, whether it is obesity, heart. So many young people are dying because of cardiac diseases. So nutrition is becoming the most important part. And I think because of so much knowledge around, so many experts speaking, we ourselves have started looking inwards, and also we have improved our own nutrition. Second thing is, Vijay already mentioned, the maternal nutrition is so much important. So in order to achieve our goals, in order to give a healthy adolescent and the healthy future for India and world, I think we have to concentrate on the nutrition of everyone. So with this, I think we have so many experts here. Thank you very much, Vijaya, and all the Kasoga, Hiremat sir, and remembering the ICUG chairperson. And we have done so much work already into this nutrition. I wish all the best to this webinar. And thank you, Vijaya, again for calling me. And I give respect to all the seniors on the forum. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, madam.
Thank you, madam. Dr. Mandakini, ma'am. An award titled as Vidya Shiromani addressing another Vidya was one of the program. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you.
Over to Dr. Nagraj. Your blessings.
Very good morning to all of you. I would like to thank the organizers for the opportunity to speak few words. Dr. Vidya Tabbi, President Kasoga, Dr. Hiremat, Chief Patron, Dr. Rajashri Palade, Secretary, and all the office bearers, and the coordinator, Dr. Sonia Mandappa. Today is the World Nutrition Day and also World Menstrual Hygiene Day also.
Yes.
We are celebrating both the occasions, and also today is a proud day for us. The new Parliament House is being inaugurated by the Prime Minister of India. That is also very auspicious for today. About nutrition, Dr. Vidya Tabbi, as a president of chairperson of Food and Drug Committee, has done a marvelous work, and she has brought a booklet about the nutrition. Probably I read it from page 1 to last page. I feel it should be translated into all the 14 languages of India, and it should be kept in the outpatient departments, and a booklet has to be provided for the lay persons. They should know what to eat and the common food they have to consume instead of taking new protein food and all supplements. We have to educate the adolescents what to eat and not to avoid junk food because in adolescents we are facing a lot of obesity problem. We have to educate them and see that they don't eat junk food. Their nutrition and their nutrition play a lot of role when they become pregnant, and we can avoid this hypertension, gestational diabetes, other complications. With these few words, I wish the deliberations all success. Thank you once and all for the opportunity.
Thank you very much, sir. Indeed, the point well taken. I guess our President, Dr. Vidya Tobi, would definitely initiate the same booklet, which would be getting translated to all the local languages. And our OPD will get busier and busier with the reading of these books.
Yes.
Thank you so much, sir. With this, I now request EC member of Kasoga, Dr. Mahesh Koregal, to introduce our chief guest of today's program, Professor Dr. Revathi Janakiram.
Thank you, madam, for the opportunity. I'm honored to be introducing a magnanimous Professor Dr. Revathi Janakiraman, and she is a well-known person, a well-known academician on this part of Karnataka and known to all of us. Thank you, madam, for accepting to be with us today. And she is a former director of IOG Chennai and Vice President Foxy South Zone in 2016. And she is president of Tamil Nadu Federation of OBG. She is founder secretary and past president of Madurai OB Society, founder president of IMS Madurai chapter, president Madurai chapter of TAPISAR, recipient of Foxy Dr. Durusha Community Service Award, recipient of Lifetime Achievement Award by IMA Madurai, selected as master trainer for PPICD program by FIGO Foxy, author of Foxy Focus on Amniotic Fluid A to Z, contributed chapters in many Foxy Focus issues, contributed chapters in many UG and PG books, and Pride of Foxy Award in November 2019 at Mumbai. And with this, welcome you, madam, and we are honored to have you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your kind words. Good morning, dear friends. I always used to wonder how Vidya is choosing the topics on nutrition from different angles. It's always quite interesting. Congratulations, Dr. Vidya. And I always thank you and your team for inviting me as chief guest for today. It's really a great honor to me. And, you know, in Tamil, Tirumular used to say just health in just only 2 words. Unave Marundu. That is, food is medicine. That's all. Very, very simple. So how to take care of your health? Only through food. And there is one day exclusively allotted for nutrition as a World Nutrition Day. You know why? Nutrition is an excellent investment. Good nutrition is a building block to help countries meet many development goals like health, education, gender equality, and poverty alleviation. And, you know, nutrition and population changes are intimately linked. Nutrition influences fertility and mortality rates. Malnutrition, as all people are now telling, both under and overnutrition, increases the incidence, severity, and duration of diseases. All the more, obesity hastens the development of chronic disease and can add to the burden of undernutrition. Women's reproductive, productive, and social roles are nutritionally taxing. This is a very important point all of us have to note. Malnourished women cannot adequately care for families. High investment in women's nutrition raises the overall human development potential. Therefore, we clinicians need to have a basic understanding and awareness of nutrition in order to optimally promote health maintenance, prevent disease, facilitate recovery from illness, and augment the treatment of medical as well as surgical disease states. Awareness and application of nutrition in medical practice has a major impact on healthcare in our society. Today, we have got experts like Dr. Lakshmi, Dr. Sheetal to talk on various aspects of nutrition. And finally, Dr. Vidya and Ritu, along with the panelists, are going to give a final word on what exactly we should know about nutrition. Really, it's going to be a food for thought for all of us. And I congratulate Dr. Vidya for organizing such wonderful webinars, and I wish her success in all her future endeavors. I wish this webinar a grand success. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Madam Dr. Revathi. It was a wonderful message. Food for thought is well understood. Food is medicine is also what you have emphasized. An influence of nutrition of both fertility and mortality. Very well highlighted, madam. Thank you so much for your kind words.
Thank you. Thank you.
Moving ahead, I now request Web Coordinator of Kasoga, Dr. Sri Lakshmi, to introduce guest of honors, Dr. Mandakini Meg. We've heard her, but still as a formality, we would definitely want to know more about her at this platform, and Dr. Sebanti. Over to you, Dr. Sri Lakshmi.
Yeah, very good morning, all of you. A warm welcome from Kasoga. Here I am honored to speak about, introduce two stalwarts of Foxy. I was really impressed and inspired by their CV actually. We have two people today, Dr. Sebanti Ghosh and Dr. Mandakini Meg. Dr. Mandakini Meg, as we can see, it's a very busy slide, and her degrees are as lengthier as her name as well. She is a senior person of Foxy and a very active member. She has held high positions, which is apt and for a highly educated woman like Dr. Mandakini Meg. Moreover, she has a very beautiful smile and she has a big heart to spend her valuable time for us on a Sunday morning. And her work has been appreciated and applauded both by Foxy, by various awards, innumerable, and various orations as well, and even by government awards as well. Very happy, and we are honored to have you in Kasoga, ma'am. We have Dr. Sebanti Ghosh here. She is a regional technical advisor of South Asia. She has graduated and has a post-graduation from P&SM. She is a nutrition expert in maternal and child health for the past 2.5 decades. She has contributed to national guidelines and hence is also author of various papers. Presentations are hers as well. We are very happy and honored to have you here, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Thank you, madam. Kasoga is flying high at national and international forums, and this is complemented by contribution of many seniors from our fraternity. One among them is Dr. Hema Divakar. After 3 decades of dedicated service for women and healthcare, Madam quotes, "To feel rich and live life at its best, remember the simple mantra, health is wealth." Madam is right now in Philippines. She did join us for a few minutes before the start of the program. She's conveyed her wishes to Nutriconnect for all the speakers, guests, and participants also. Maybe we'll look forward to get her reconnected. Till then, I request the technical team to forward her message for today's virtual platform.
Ellarigu Namaskara. Under the able leadership of Dr. Vidya Topi, who has taken over as the president of Kasoga, it's a proud moment of each one of us from the state of Karnataka to connect with you with Nutriconnect Season 2. The thoughts about nutrition, I said thoughts, which means that as the Well Women Healthcare Chair of FIGO, and as a member of the Pregnancy and NCD Committee, there was a subgroup organized called PONI, Pregnancy, Obesity, Nutrition Initiative, which brought in the tagline, Think Nutrition First. So that is what I would urge each and every one of you to do. So when you think nutrition, what is the overview of nutrition, which is going to be presented to you by Dr. Lakshmi Shrikande, another distinguished and an eminent member who is now holding the prestigious position of the chair of ICOG, and the panel discussion that you may have on the whole spectrum of positioning nutrition and nutritional advice right across the age groups, the first 1,000 days, then adolescents and teenagers, moving on to the reproductive and the post-reproductive phase, immediate and long-term, which also includes the menopausal phase and beyond. I wish you really well with the coordination of Dr. Sonia Mandappa and the team of Kasoga, bringing forth this brilliant and the most important skill gap and the knowledge gap which needs to be plugged in the ambit of nutrition. May I wish that the fruitful deliberations through this particular meeting will always stay in your mind and go a very, very long way in helping you not only to think nutrition first, but to get it into action so that eating right is the concept which reaches the girls, women, and thereby the families and the citizens of this big country. So wishing you all the very best and placing the thought that nutrition is indeed a significant part of your dialogue and prescription with your patients at every touch point. This is Dr. Hema Divakar, the Dean of KCOG, signing off with loads of good wishes to each one of you. Namaskar.
Thank you. Thank you, technical team, for forwarding this audio clipping. Now, moving ahead with blessings of Almighty and good wishes from all the seniors of our fraternity, we move ahead for scientific sessions. To kickstart,
I want Sonia and Dr. Sevanti to address, no?
Yes, ma'am. Before we start on the scientific session, we would like to hear Dr. Sevanti Ghosh, who's a Senior Technical Advisor for Alive and Thrive South Asia. Over to you, madam. Madam, can you unmute yourself?
Sorry.
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
So thank you, Dr. Sonia. And at the onset, I would like to thank Dr. Vidya and the entire team of Kasoga and, Foxy, ICOG. It's a pleasure when you are reconnecting and with dear friends like Dr. Vidya, like Dr. Hema, who has, of course, joined in virtually for a short time, persons like Dr. Mandakini Meg and other senior leaders from Kasoga and Foxy. I don't belong to Foxy as a member, but I have had the honor and privilege to be associated and, really a pleasure to have been working with leaders and champions like Dr. Vidya and Dr. Hema. I come from a very different background of preventive and social medicine, health systems, and health policy management and improvement. But my space, and which is core to my work and my passion, that is maternal, newborn, child, and adolescent health and nutrition. And it gives me immense pleasure that such continuing medical education programs are ongoing through, Dr. Vidya. I have known her dynamic role when she was leading the food, drugs and medico-surgical equipments committee at Foxy. So, we really need to be integrating, prioritizing nutrition in the clinical practice. And that's what the next generation of practitioners, whether in public or private health sector, really needs to have the knowledge and the necessary skills for evidence-based practice. Because we all know that if we really want to improve the maternal and child health agenda, progress will be achieved when we are integrating and we have greater coherence with nutrition and MNCH. We cannot work in silos, and the global evidence says, that if we are delivering the evidence-based package for health and nutrition interventions when women are seeking care throughout their life cycle at each touch point, particularly during pregnancy, in the interpartum and postpartum, we will be able to cut down maternal and newborn mortality by 28% and reduce stillbirths by 22%. And if we move our agenda from survival towards well-being and thrive, then it's the life cycle approach, not just pregnancy, delivery, postpartum, or the first 1,000 days, but the entire life cycle approach for girls and women's nutrition. It has been all well said. It is intergenerational. It is moving beyond the health and nutrition agenda to cognitive improvement agenda, to economic and social development agenda. And this is very much a gendered issue. And we cannot consider health and well-being of the community without focusing on the nutrition, health, and well-being of women and girls. And yet globally, we have more than 1 billion adolescent girls and women who are undernourished. We are facing the triple burden of undernutrition, overnutrition, and micronutrient deficiencies. South Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa has a huge burden, contributing to 75% of the low birth weight. That is not something that we desire. Today we have good news from the Joint Malnutrition Estimates, how India's share to stunting has gone down from 30% to 20%. But we cannot stop at this. We are still contributing to 1/4 of the global burden of stunting. And stunting is all starting in utero and the early life poor nutrition. So, and children who would escape stunting, they have a 33% higher chance of escaping poverty in adult life. So these are all interrelated, interconnected issues. As obstetricians, as you look at the clinical management, moderate to severe anemia, GDM, there is a major role for you as you address maternal thinness, maternal obesity. But there are some very basic preventive, promotive aspects that require your attention, and it gladdens my heart as you talk about diet, because cost of poor health due to unhealthy diet is now amounting to 11 trillion US dollar. Think
Dr.
of
Sevanti,
it.
can I intervene over here?
Yes.
Are you sharing some slide, madam?
No. I'll be ending here. I just shared some of the key thoughts that I had and some statistics around it. And I wish this webinar all the best. My apologies that I won't be able to continue being with you, but as Alive and Thrive, we would like to continue the partnership that we have enjoyed, all the guidelines, courses that we have worked together. So I will end here. All the best and committing to be partnering and working together with you. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Sevanti.
Thank you, madam. Being a nutritional expert and with an experience of 2.5 decades
Across India and South Asia, you also shared the malnutrition estimates, which are very happy from 30% to 20%. There is a decrease, but then yes, you have also made us realize that the need of having knowledge and skills for evidence-based practice is the take-home message, and we really understand that, and we notify and we assure that we look forward for whatever you want the support from our fraternity. Thank you so much, madam. Thanks for your kind words.
Thank you.
Moving ahead, we'll kickstart our scientific session. We are all waiting to know more about overview of nutrition. May I now request our president, Dr. Vidya Tobi, to introduce today's speaker, Dr. Lakshmi Shrikande.
It is always a pleasure to introduce my dear friend, and now she's a ICOG chair of Dr. Lakshmi Shrikande. Please mute everyone, please. Nagaraj sir, please mute yourself.
Ankita, can we actually mute Dr.
Yes, ma'am.
Because I'm unable to connect to everyone.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I'll do that.
Ankita, please mute everyone, please.
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Thank you. It is a pleasure to introduce Dr. Lakshmi Shrikande, Chairperson ICOG, and she is also National Corresponding Editor, Journal of OBGYN, National Corresponding Secretary Association of Medical Women India, Founder, Patron and President of ISOPAB Vidarbha Chapter, Chairperson IMS Education Committee, President Association of Medical Women Nagpur, President, she has many awards to her credit, like Nagpur Ratan Award, Bharat Excellence Award, and also she has won Mehru Dara Hansotia Best Committee Award for her Chairperson HIV/AIDS Committee. We still remember the conference she had at Nagpur on exclusively on HIV/AIDS. And she has also received the appreciation letter from Maharashtra government for her work in the field of Save the Girl Child. She is Senior Vice President Foxy 2012, President Menopause Society Nagpur 2016 and 18. She is President Nagpur OBGYN Society 2005 and 6. She has delivered many orations, for more than 400 guest lectures, more than 30 national and international publications, and almost she has done sensitization programs of 2 lakh boys and girls on adolescent health issues. So nutrition is equally very dear to her also. So we have heard many talks on nutrition from her, but this is one exclusive talk. I also like this talk, so I requested her to deliver this topic for us, especially for Karnataka. Many of them, they have joined. So I welcome Dr. Lakshmi Shrikande on this platform, and she is going to deliver a talk on overview of nutrition. Welcome, Dr. Lakshmi, to this dais. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Vidya, for your kind words and also for inviting me here to deliver the talk on overview of nutrition. So friends, without wasting much time, I hope my slides are visible and I am audible.
Yes.
Let us start. To introduce why nutrition, I know Vidya is very passionate, and now Ritu has joined her, and I'm so happy, and you can count me also in, Vidya, because I really wish that nutrition we have to talk and sensitize all the stakeholders, not only doctors, but the public also. Because it is a basic human need, which is a prerequisite to a healthy life. And good nutrition means an adequate, well-balanced diet combined with regular physical activity. Poor nutrition, we will discuss what it all can lead to. Now, as a OBGY, we cater to the needs of the woman. So we are definitely concerned more about nutrition in women, and it is a matter of concern for several decades. Despite significant progress in terms of overall economic growth and poverty reduction, the nutritional status of women in this country still remains a significant challenge. This is also due to lack of women empowerment, especially amongst underprivileged women. And according to the report by Global Nutrition 2020, India has the highest burden of malnutrition in the world, with 1 in every 3 malnourished children living in India. So you all can see that nutrition, why it is so important, because it interacts with genotype to influence the health and aging. 4 of the top 5 countries with the largest number of the world's stunted children, they are in Asia. So we have a huge challenge to address this issue. Now let us look at the Asian scenario. 1 in 5 women in Asia is underweight with BMI less than 18.5. 1 in 10 are of short stature with height of less than 145 centimeter, and anemia of severe to moderate degree is rampant in Asia. The prevalence of overweight, on the other hand, is also increasing at an alarming rate in women, and it now exceeds underweight in all countries in the region except Bangladesh and India. So malnutrition, it is a complex issue that is influenced by a variety of factors, including poverty, poor access to healthcare, inadequate sanitation and hygiene, and gender inequality. In India, these factors are particularly pronounced for women who often face discrimination and neglect in terms of healthcare and nutrition. So you can see from this WHO chart that we are having the double burden of malnutrition. And this malnutrition is linked to non-communicable diseases and their risk factors. The WHO reports that 1 in 3 people around the world, they suffer the effect of some form of malnutrition. That is, malnutrition also includes overnutrition. So it has got 3 components, that is undernutrition, which causes approximately 3.5 million deaths of women and children. Overnutrition is producing an increase in chronic non-communicable diseases such as diabetes and hypertension, and micronutrient deficiencies affect 2 billion people worldwide, and they are caused by an inadequate diet which lacks in vitamins and minerals. So why is women's health so important? Not only in India, I will say globally, because the lack of maternal health contributes to future economic disparities for mother and their children. Poor maternal health often affects a child's health in adverse ways, and it also decreases a woman's ability to participate in economic activities. Better nutrition means stronger immune system, fewer incidences of illness, and better health. This COVID has also taught to everyone. The nutritional status of women is important both for the quality of their own life and the survival and healthy development of their children. Healthy women can fulfill their multiple roles like generating income, ensuring their family's nutrition, having healthy children more effectively, and thereby she can help in advancing countries' socio-economic development. Improving women's nutrition can also help nation achieve 3 of the Millennium Development Goals, which are commonly accepted as a framework for measuring the developmental progress. And these are those 3 Millennium Development Goals. That is goal number 1, eradicate extreme poverty and hunger. Goal 4, that is reduce child mortality. And goal number 5 is improve maternal health. And how improving women's and adolescent girls' nutrition helps towards these Millennium Development Goals? It helps because well-nourished women, they are better able to provide for themselves, their families and children. They are more likely to have infants with healthy birth weights. They are less likely to have low birth weight babies. They are more likely to have healthy babies who can survive childhood illnesses. And women with adequate stores of iron and other micronutrients are less likely to suffer fatal infections. So how women's nutrition affect the national economies? We have already discussed, because malnutrition in women, it will lead to economic losses for families. In turn, it is economic loss to the community and the country, because malnutrition, it reduces women's ability to work. How does being a female affect nutrition? Although the recommended breakdown of carbohydrate, protein, and fat are the same for both genders, because men generally need more calories, they also require higher total intake of each of the macronutrients. Women, in comparison to men, they need fewer calories than men, but in many cases, they have higher vitamin and mineral requirement. What is the woman's nutritional status? Because throughout the whole webinar, we will be discussing about her nutritional status. So in India, if she is more than 19 years of age, if BMI is less than 18.5, she is underweight. If it is between 18.5 to 25, she is normal weight. Overweight, if BMI is between 25 to 30, and obesity if BMI is greater than 30. So these are various factors which affects her nutritional status, starting from household income and its utilization, quality of the environment, number of siblings, vulnerability to gender discrimination, education level, poor sanitation and hygiene, her activity status and exposure to social stimulation, and decision-making power at the household. The quality of care and feeding offered to children is critically dependent on women's education, social status, and workload, according to UN Subcommittee on Nutrition. Addressing gender inequalities can help ensure that women can get the nutrition they need, improving their own health and that of their families, and ultimately contributing to the society's development. So remember, when we are talking of nutrition, it is poor nutrition throughout the life cycle of that woman. Addressing the need of the girls and women throughout their lives, that is the life cycle approach, can improve the woman's nutritional status. Many nutritional deficiencies experienced in infancy and childhood are irreversible. They have irreversible consequences. So interventions to support adequate nutrition from infancy onwards, rather I will say when the child is in the womb itself, directly benefits women later in the life. Now let us just quickly, I will be taking you through the adolescent phase, through the pregnancy, lactation and midlife. What are the nutritional requirements in these major categories of her lifespan? Why adolescent we are focusing more and more? Because these adolescents, they are having very easily available, low cost, high fat, high sugar, low nutrient food. Just a phone call away and the food is delivered at your doorstep. They have limited access to healthy foods. And of course, the major contribution is poor parental role modeling. Because if parents are eating fast foods, you cannot preach and tell your adolescents to eat healthy food. So what every adolescent girl needs? She needs access to information and services related to nutrition, reproductive health, family planning, and general health. She also needs education and literacy to improve nutrition. She needs to use their knowledge of nutrition when preparing and handling food, which will also help her health as well as her family's health. In this age group, two nutrients are of particular importance, that is calcium, and the recommended dose here is 1300 milligram of calcium for girls aged between 9 to 19, and iron, which is very, very important. Until they start menstruating, they need about 8 milligram of iron a day, and between age 14 to 18, the recommended intake of iron is 15 milligram a day. So this is a chart where you all can see how malnutrition, micronutrient malnutrition, obesity, and other nutrition can have adverse effect on her health. This is my favorite slide because prenatal nutrition, it plays a great role, and you can save literally 2 generations from the diseases if you take good care of this pregnancy. Why I am saying this? Because when she is pregnant, she is also pregnant with her grandchild, especially if it's a female child. The eggs that may someday become the grandchild are developing inside the daughter while she is still in the womb within the mother. The eggs are nourished by the diet and the environment of the mother. So if you take good care of this pregnancy, you are taking good care of future 2 generations. Now comes the next phase in her life. She is married, and 10% they do face problem of subfertility. So can nutrition also has a role to play in this category of women? Yes, there is growing evidence that nutrition may play an important role in adjusting the fertility related outcomes in both man and woman. Man, we are saying almost 40 to 50% problems now are with the man. Adherence to a healthy dietary pattern favoring fish, poultry, whole grain, fruits, vegetables, and healthy fats, they are related to better fertility in both genders. And this is according to this latest study published in 2021 journal. Now, many couples, they are coming to us with sexual problems. So can nutrition also affect the sexual and reproductive health? Yes. This is the report published in 2019, and they have shown that nutritional factors, they can have an impact on sexual and reproductive health. So the reports concluded that despite the multi-factor etiology of sexual and reproductive dysfunction, nutritional factors may affect the sexual and reproductive health again in both man and woman. We all are obstetricians, so coming to the nutrition in pregnancy. So this is the 1000 days window of opportunity, that is 270 days of pregnancy, 365 days of the first year of that child, and 365 days of the second year of that child. That is coming to 1000 days. And why 1000 days? Because a child, in fact, nation's future is determined by the quality of nutrition in these first 1000 days. Optimal nutrition is critical for cognitive and physical development at this stage, and targeting the 1000-day period is one of the best investments to improve health, nutrition, and economic outcome. So first 1000-day nutrition does matter a lot. What is the Asian scenario? Because we say these 1000 days, it is make or break time. So now more than ever, the game-changing first 1000 days of life remain the best window to support the millions of children and mothers who are struggling to get the nutrition, healthcare, and protection they need to thrive. While the roots of malnutrition, disease, stunted development, and inequality are often found in the first 1000 days, so it is the opportunity to build healthier and more equitable futures for children, women, their families, and societies. Because if you target these 1000 days, there will be 40% reduction of the global number of children under 5 who are stunted. There will be 50% reduction of anemia, 30% reduction in low birth weight. There will be no increase in the childhood overweight. Exclusive breastfeeding again is very, very helpful in this category. Now coming to the nutrition for women during childbearing days, we all are obstetrician. We know that certain micronutrients are very, very important, including folic acid, because it prevents neural tubule defect development, especially spina bifida and anencephaly. The recommended dose is 400 to 800 microgram. B12 is essential for healthy nervous system development, and this also is very important during pregnancy. Low choline levels in pregnancy has been associated with increased risk of neural tube defects. So you have to take care of this micronutrient as well. Omega-3 is essential for building healthy brain and nerve cells, and also it helps in prevention of preterm births. Vitamin D, you have to take care, and the recommended daily allowance here is 600 IU per day. Calcium, we all are taking good care by giving calcium supplements. The dose is 1000 to 1300 milligram per day. Iron, of course, we all are giving iron supplements to these pregnant women. So in a nutshell, these are the nutritional requirements during pregnancy. And yes, in this 21st century, we all obstetricians have to find out extra time to counsel these women about discouraging them from the unhealthy eating trends, that is irregular meal times. They have craving for sweet snacks. They want to have high food intake, imbalanced meal. So you have to counsel them and tell them to avoid empty calories food choices. Empty calories means just added sugars and solid fats, which they all want. So this is the preconception where there is need for iron, B12, vitamin D, folate, iodine. First trimester, there is iron, B12, folate, vitamin D, protein and fats. Second and third trimester, protein, fats, carbohydrates, iron, calcium, vitamins. And during breastfeeding, you have to give more focus to protein, fats, calcium, iron, and vitamin D3. Lactating mothers, of course, you don't have to forget to give supplements here also, because they do need higher iron, calcium, and vitamin D3 supplements. And estimates have suggested that improving breastfeeding practices by encouraging women to breastfeed immediately after birth and to avoid supplemental feeding for at least first 6 months could save the lives of 1.5 million children each year. Now she has gone through all these lifespans, and now she has entered that 60 plus age group. So the requirement changes in this age group, because here the concerns are osteoporosis, obesity, degenerative diseases like cardiovascular health, cancer, diabetes, hypertension. These take the priority. So what are the priorities of nutrition in this age group? That is calcium. Although some bone loss is inevitable with the age, women can slow down the process by getting enough calcium and vitamin D in this age group. B12 again is very important to decline her aging process. Fluid intake, she has to be extra careful, and remember, with age and especially after menopause, her calorie requirements does drop. So she has to check her calorie intake daily. This is the Indian Council of Medical Research, that is ICMR, and National Institution of Nutrition, that is NIN. They have published an updated recommended dietary allowance and estimated average requirements, and they have given requirements as per energy, protein, fats and oils, dietary intake, carbohydrate, mineral, vitamins and water. And you all can download these booklets, which are freely available on your Google, so that you know what is the recommended daily allowance by our ICMR and NIM. This is the nutritional needs for different groups. Again, it is freely available on the internet. You can download it. Now, this is just one word about the Poshan Abhiyan, because our government is taking nutrition very, very seriously. So it has launched this program, and it was launched by Honorable Prime Minister on 8th of March 2018 in Jhunjhunu district of Rajasthan. And phase 1, it is there. Phase 2, there are 10 districts, and remaining districts will be covered in phase 3. Along with governments, there are many NGOs who are working tirelessly towards this cause of malnutrition, overnutrition, and nutritional deficiencies. Remember, healthy eating is not a strict diet plan. Skipping meals, avoiding snacks and treats completely. Life is not a punishment. Enjoy, but occasionally you can take. Healthy eating is again not a fat-free diet or a low-carb diet or an extremely high-protein diet or about counting calories all the time. So what is healthy eating then? You have to use My Plate as a guide. The 5 food groups shown in this My Plate, they are the building blocks for your healthy diet, and each food group provides your body with the nutrition it needs. So remember, it is all about balance. Balance is the key to healthy nutrition. Balance a variety of foods from all the food groups throughout the day. Balance healthy meals and snacks with occasional treats. Balance nutrition with fun physical activity. So this is the serving size card which can help you in your day-to-day activity. You can take a screenshot, or again it is freely available on the internet. Try to use this serving size card in your day-to-day life. And reading food label. Vidya knows I am very, very passionate about this, because howsoever you are counting your calories in your kitchen, but if you are using the packed food and you are not reading the label carefully, then unintentionally you end up eating high sodium, high sugar, and high fat. So you have to make a habit of reading the food labels very, very carefully before you buy any packed food. So the take-home message is that it is not just about women and not just for women. Addressing women's health is a necessary and an effective approach to strengthening the health system, that is the overall health system, that will benefit everyone, herself, her family, community, nation, and the world at large. Because improving women's health, it matters to everyone. Improve her health to improve the world. Thank you. Thank you so much for your patient hearing.
Thank you, madam. Indeed, this was a balanced talk with a balanced diet. I was just
Recognizing whether Dr. Vidya Tobi is available on screen. She did message that she was on her way to the airport. But then I guess I can make a remark on this, which you have highlighted, not just about women and not just for women, but improve world's health with women. That's a wonderful take-home message, ma'am. Thanks for highlighting on Million Development Goal 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And also you emphasized on the importance of good diet as a responsibility, as it is needed for 2 generations. And also about 1,000-day window. I think there'll be a lot of questions about a 1,000-day window. And we look forward for an interactive session after the scientific session overall. If we could just move ahead, thanking speaker Dr. Lakshmi Shrikande for a wonderful deliberation. May I now request our Safe Motherhood Committee Chairperson Kasoga, Dr. Shobha, to introduce our next speaker, Dr. Sheetal Joshi. Dr. Shobha, please unmute.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you, Sonia Madam, for the kind introduction. It was a wonderful talk, Lakshmi Madam. We learned so many things from you. Now we have a very good speaker next. That is dietitian Sheetal Joshi. And Sheetal Joshi has done her MSc and CDE. She's a clinical dietitian, certified diabetic educator, and sports nutritionist. She is associated with Divakar Specialty Hospital, Bengaluru. She has a rich experience of 15 years in diet counseling. Her expertise and experience lies in diet counseling services for clinical conditions, including diabetes, PCOS, pregnancy, weight loss, metabolic disorders, and geriatric nutrition. She has conducted many nutrition and healthy lifestyle workshops for corporate, schools, and private groups. Training nurses for diabetes nutrition is also her forte. She has conducted many nutrition-based workshops for antenatal groups. She is associated with the artist and done a lot of research work. She is actively involved in the Manyata program, that's a Foxy initiative, with Hema Divakar as the spearhead. She is a member, she has a membership in many associations. She is the treasurer of Indian Association for Parenteral and Enteral Nutrition, Bengaluru chapter, and she's a member of IDA. She has got many awards for her publications, and her publications have been seen in many of the journals. And she is a certified sport nutritionist from AS, NFS, PG, DHHM. Now I welcomed Sheetal Joshi to give her deliberation on this very auspicious day of World Nutrition Day. Welcome you, Sheetal.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Shobha. Actually, I feel like I'm back at home whenever there is any event with Kasoga, because all are the known faces. And thanks to Dr. Hema Divakar, who has been continuously giving opportunity to speak in various forum on various subjects on the maternal nutrition as well as other aspects of Manyata. My screen can be seen?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Yes, yes. So first of all, yes, thanks a lot, Dr. Vidyatopi, for inviting me for this August session, wherein all experts are there, including Dr. Shevanti Ghosh, whom I've been hearing from a very long time, how government is involved in making so much of policies. She always speaks about it, and there are many people who are working towards it, including our Indian government is working too hard to find out the good way of reaching nutrition to everyone. And Dr. Lakshmi, that was an excellent talk. She has done my work very easy because she has spoken about balanced diet so much. So it was an excellent session. And I would like to thank Dr. Sonia Mandapa for coordinating excellently always. I mean, I feel so comfortable whenever there are any programs which she's been coordinating. Thanks a lot. So I just want to begin my talk saying that Anna Hai Purna Brahma, which we've been always talking about in the Indian culture, because today I'm going to talk more on the traditional way of eating, and I'm going to talk nothing to do with the calorie counting, or which Dr. Lakshmi has already told what not to do. So I'm not going to do whatever she has told in the list over there. So I'm just going to tell you the traditional way. And whenever we speak about Anna Hai Purna Brahma, it is like the complete your food makes you complete, and it's the growth, it's the expansion, and all these things are around our food. And that is nothing like to say like it's a scientific thing, you have to do it in a particular way. It is a basic need of a human need. It's a basic human need, basically, I can say. Okay, so I just want to start my talk by telling you all the definition of what is diet. It's just a particular selection of food especially designed or prescribed to improve a person's physical condition or to prevent or treat a disease. So there is no need for everyone to go on a particular diet. What we are doing day to day, what we are eating is fine unless there is some particular treatment which is involved, or something for some reason, clinical reason, we would require to follow a particular diet. If not, there is no need to follow any particular diet or anything. Every day, the Indian diet, whatever you're taking, is the best and the balanced diet. And in few of the slides, I'll be just telling how Indian diet is a balanced diet. I'll be telling you. There is lots of confusion, which is, I thought I should be putting this slide because there are lots of people, your patients might be coming to you that I'm following a paleo diet, blood type diet, vegan diet, intermittent. There are many low carb, ketogenic diet is very, very much popular these days. The Mediterranean diet, the raw food diet, which is available these days. And the newer generation, they want to explore because world has become a small place because of the global connectivity, whatever we have. So everywhere we are able to reach, and the regions in where those particular type of food or their particular lifestyle is there, or the season, based on that, they would have made their diet. And it is not really mandatory that we have to follow those, but they are healthy. I never say that the other diets are not healthy and Indian diet is the most healthiest diet. We are not saying about it. In each region, each type of people or the region or the conditions like the climatic conditions, based on that, the diet have been planned. So we should try to find out what is best for us. In the next few slides, I'll be talking about those same things. But I would like to tell, there are these paleo diet or ketogenic diet or the other diet based on the lifestyle or the work culture or how we are brought up. These are there in our Indian context also. There was in ancient, in the Vedic days, when the 4 categories, the Varna system was formed, there were a certain category of people who used to use more their brain, that is the Brahmins, whenever we talk about in the 4 Varnas. So the Brahmins were getting enough of sattvic food because they had to use their brain. Until today, our brain works on glucose. So let's not forget, if you are on a ketogenic diet, your brain wouldn't be that active as it is on the glucose. So that type of sattvic food they used to have, wherein more of glucose they were able to get so that their brain is able to work properly. Then there were actually Kshatriyas, who were the warriors who used to go in front, and they used to be away from their home for a longer time, and in jungles they used to stay, and they would require the muscular power. So the protein-rich food was very important for them, and there were no cooks or something or all the things, vegetables or anything available. So whatever meat was available over there, they used to cook and have that and try to be the strong. Then there were the other category of people who are the Vaishyas, who were traveling from place to place for the business class, business people. So they used to find out food which can be preserved, stay. Today we have in the shelves, you get all the preserved food and everything. That is more for people who keep on traveling. They need to carry it all the way. So this particular category of people, they used to find out wherein how the food can be preserved for a longer time whenever they're going in the ship or whenever they are traveling by land or whatever it is. And plus whatever is available over there. And they had to be physically also fit and mentally also to sharp to be taking care of the business. So they would be having an in-between diet, whatever it is. Then the other category of people, Sudras, they were doing all the small jobs what are available. And since from the very start, they were financially not that very strong. They did not have access to the good nutrition. So whatever was provided by whoever used to give them food, they used to have that. So they were not able to grow physically also or mentally also. But the scenario has completely changed now. We are all in a different scenario now. The Varna system, whatever was formed in the society, even though it has been followed, our work, our lifestyle, the job what we do are different for each. So whatever, there are many people who are in the warriors or in the army, even though they might be from the category Varna of the Brahmins, they have to have a certain type of food so that they have lots of energy and the muscular power. There are so many people now keeping around globally, they have been traveling. So they need to have a certain type of food. There are lots of food which is required when you're traveling. So these particular diet, whatever are there, it is not like based on what exactly you want to achieve. You have to find out and you have to fix your way of diet based on the culture, what you're going to follow. Coming to what is balanced diet, this has been already explained to you by Dr. Lakshmi, but I just, in a nutshell, I just want to tell that balanced diet contains all the essential elements that a human body needs: the carbohydrates, the lipids, vitamins, minerals, proteins, fiber, whatever the nutrients are there, including water. So all these essential components, when you put it in a proper form, that is a balanced diet. So we see that in balanced diet, it's 65 to 70% of complex carbohydrates and 10% of fat and 25% of protein. This is all you require. This is the balanced diet. And in later slides, I'll be telling you how our Indian diet is actually a totally balanced diet. Before coming to the balanced diet, I would just try to make you all understand what the traditional foods of India is. And I would like to say that really the traditional wisdom what we have in processing of the food, the preservative technique, and all these is really good from generations. It's been established, in fact. And you see that we are carrying out our ancestors, whatever they're doing was the excellent way. And there were lots of diseases which were not there that time, which have been come now because of the change of our lifestyle, our food habits, and way of cooking it also. Food systems can deliver a number of biological functions through dietary components in the human body. Indian traditional foods are also recognized as functional foods. Now, actually, these days, you have lots of research work on turmeric, or on flax seeds, or on garden cress seeds. So all these research work are coming, but these were our ancient foods which always had the functional value. Whenever we're eating, food was our medicine actually from the very start. And these functional foods help in weight management, blood sugar level management, and support the immune system. During the COVID time, actually, you saw that lots of people went into the kitchen. They started having all the antioxidants, all the type of spices, this, that, the decoctions of different type of teas and all they started having. These were there in our diet from the very start. So it is nothing new actually. And the best thing, the processing technique, what we had, the sprouting, the malting, the fermentation, the idlis, dosas, and all those, the dhoklas, what we were preparing in the eastern side also, rice has been soaked and the water has been taken. So those are nothing but the probiotics, what we always had. And there were varieties of grains and pulses in India actually. Because Indians, whatever best said, we are vegetarians. 70%, even though many of them say that we are non-vegetarian, but there are days like some people don't eat on Monday, some on Friday, some on Saturday, some in 3 months. They don't have 4 months during the Chaturmas, they don't have, or during some Navratri, they don't have non-veg. So we are not hardcore non-vegetarians. Our staple diet, whatever it is the grains and the pulses what we have been using. And in Indian history, we see that from Yajurveda, we see that the pulses were always there, which were a part of proteins, whatever we call today, the urad, moong, masoor, all these grains actually have been there, and the legumes, whatever these we call, are there from the ancient time, and they were a source of proteins for us. And all the grains had good caloric specification, largely from starch and the proteins, what is required. And in view of health, resistant starch, actually now it is receiving more attention because of the potential health benefits and the functional foods. I will talk about resistant starch later, but this was one of the things which was always there in our food. And many traditional Indian grains products may contain higher amount of resistant starch because of the higher proportion of whole grain ingredients and less intensive processing. The thing has happened, like the grains, whatever we had were excellent, but the processing from when it has started, then we are having all these problems which are coming up. And there are variety of grains, including millets, which has been spoken earlier also, even including Dr. Lakshmi told, Dr. Vidya also was talking, and few other speakers also, the chief guest, all were speaking about that International Millets Year we are having this year, and we are celebrating millets actually. And millets was part of our diet from the very start. So I will just talk about few of these millets also, because in a balanced diet, these millets play a very vital role. And this will really help in reducing the triglycerides level, maintain the bowel movements, increase the bioavailability of the vitamins, grains, and lots of other things which, like, it's the higher, the satiety, whatever you have would be high, and it's a good quality of fiber it is going to have. And it can be, the good part is it can be made in anything like rotis, salads, chats, whatever our Indian cuisine, we are able to use it. And millets like ragi, jawar, bajra are integral part of our Indian ethos and diet. It has been always there, and it is having a health benefits rather than the wheat and rice. And traditionally occupying a pride of place in Indian homes, and they made these millets can be made into upma, roti, bhakris, porridge, and even health drink. It's really a versatile thing, millets, whatever we can have. First of all, actually, we are really getting confused what these millets are. Millets are always been in the Asian continent, and it is from the grass family actually. And millets are cereal crops with small seeds actually they have. Why I'm telling this a little, because in next slide, I'm going to tell that there are people who are talking about organic millets and all, but millets are always organic, okay? And it is in Africa, Asian countries, actually everywhere you find that the production of millets is the higher in these part, okay? And from ages we have been consuming, and due to the green revolution, because of higher production of wheat and rice, millet production was decreased. And now we have really excellent good news. We are trying to go back to roots. First of all, I would like to tell you all, don't go with the word like organic or anything. Millets are always chemical free. They are organic. They require less water. And due to increase in the demand, the production has increased. So cost of millets is also decreasing. It is economically sustainable these days. Earlier, if you would have seen maybe about 6 to 7 years ago, actually, the foxtail millets was 190 rupees kg or something. Now it has come to 60 rupees kg. So the more the demand is, the more there will be increase in production, and economically it will be a sustainable. And millets are gluten-free, and it is low in glycemic index, rich in fiber, magnesium, phosphorus, iron, calcium, zinc, potassium. Actually, it is the excellent thing what you can have. It's a complete meal. And all these are good for tackling the lifestyle diseases like diabetes, obesity, heart diseases, gut health. And now again, there is a confusion between we are having millets, we are having millets. There are just some millets which are common millets, which were regularly there, which have never disappeared from our plates. They are always there. That is the jowar. In many parts of northern Karnataka you have. Then the ragi, which is there in the southern part of Karnataka. And bajra, you have more of the western side of India. You have this bajra. And these were actually major share actually in Indian millets. When we talk about, these are always there and they were never disappeared. And these we have been using it, and we should be continuing using it. But the forgotten millets, when we talk about millets, it is the barnyard millet, udagu, or naune, or same, barugu. All these actually foxtail millets, proso millets, or little millets. These are all the millets which have been forgotten and which we should be taking back in our diet, which is like high fiber content the barnyard millet has. It helps in losing weight and having calcium, phosphorus, good for bone health. Then you have foxtail millets, which is very good for balancing the carbohydrates. So it is very good for sugar and strengthening the immunity because of the calcium content. And proso millet, you have low glycemic index for sugar levels and the weight loss. And you have the little millet, which is, I say, the beginner's millet, which you should start having with whenever you have not eaten millets, because generations have not had millets. Couple of generation have skipped, and suddenly now if we start having these millets, we are going to have digestion issues, we are going to have other issues with the gut. So it is always start with very small portion size, and little millet is one of the beginners millet, which is easy for digestion, and it is really versatile also. You can make it in any type of food also, like upma or porridge or any bisibeli bhat or pongal or any type of rice items, whatever, just to replace it, or idlis or dosas or anything you can prepare out of this. So I would suggest like little millet would be the beginner's millet, which everyone should start with. The worst thing is many people outside, oh, Indian curries means they are very oily, spicy, and they have just actually made a very bad name of these Indian curries, maybe because of the Western culture or whatever it is. But Indian curries were the best and are the best, and if they are put in the right ingredients have been put in the proper amount of oil, and it is really good for immunity. And when you do a combination of vegetable and pulses legume, it gives a good quality of protein, and it can help in reducing inflammation, which is the root cause of all the diseases like diabetes or hypertension or heart diseases. So, and they are always prepared with curry leaves, tomato or onion, black pepper, garlic, turmeric, various other spices which are there in our kitchen room. So these curries are always prepared with this, and there is a proportion of fiber and protein in this particular thing. The lentils, which you are going to get the proteins, and the vegetables will give the fiber, and the spices will give you lots of minerals and antioxidants. So whenever we are talking about balanced diet, make sure that there is an Indian curry or the vegetable in your plate. It has to be there. The other things, the pickles and the raitas are the best probiotics anyone can have. And this is also we have forgotten, and we are just trying to get the Western culture of yogurt and all other things, the pickling of the olives and all these things. But Indian pickles and Indian raitas are the best gut-friendly bacteria which you can get from these. And these will really help in destroying the illness because of the antibiotic drugs, whatever you've been taking, or the alcohol consumption and all. Because of these, actually, your gut is really been destroyed. And to get it back, these are the really good food what you can take. And they are the traditional food which will fix back the bacteria naturally, and it will get the lactobacillus and the bifidio bacteria. Such probiotic you're going to get from these natural pickles and raitas, what you are going to have as the probiotic. And the combination of vegetable with fiber and curds, commonly known as raita, that is pachdi or kosamri or anything. This is a pre and probiotic, because the vegetables and all whatever you're going to have in this, that will act as a pre, and the curds what you're going to add acts as a post. So make sure that one curry, Indian curry is there, and one raita is always there. That is kosamri is always there in your diet. And I'll tell you, each and every home in an Indian scenario has these particular things in your plate. And the pickles are the excellent thing if you're making it right properly, because in earlier days, there was no processed pickle as such. It was made at home, and years together, they used to preserve it and keep it. And they were properly sun dried and had the right amount of sugar, salt, and the herbs and all the oil, whatever it is required. And it was fermented properly and kept. Hence, they were not destroyed also for a longer time. It was there. Now, if you see that if you try to make these pickles, I don't know with what method we have missing it, but still very soon it will be destroyed. We need to keep it in the refrigerator, and we have to add lots of preservatives to it. So a proper traditional way, if you make pickles, these are the excellent food what you can have as probiotics. And above all, actually, in Indian diet, when I spoke about Indian curry, that is one vegetable, salad or pickle, and then comes the chutney. Chutney is available in each and every part of India, right from the north to the south or everywhere. You have different types of seeds which are available, and you have different type of chutneys which you have been prepared. But here now, just one few seeds I would like to just focus on. Flax seeds. Flax seeds is being taken now. It is gaining popularity everywhere. It reduces cholesterol and all those things. But flax seeds, that is akse pudi chutney, was always there in our diet from a very long time, be it in any state of our country. And the pumpkin seeds are very popular in the south side. Whenever the pumpkin is there, we actually throw off the seeds, and these seeds are actually being collected, and then they are sold back to us with a double cost, in fact. So whenever you get a pumpkin, make sure that you dry the seeds and you use those seeds. Sunflower seeds, more of northern part, you get sunflower seeds. These are also very good for your cardiac functioning also. Because of the cholesterol lowering steroids what you have in it. The sunflower seeds are excellent, and the sesame seeds. Sesame seeds also is very good because, and the combination of all these four is something we keep on using for PCOS and for irregular periods. This is an excellent seed cycle what we have been following these days, and it always had a history. If you see that sesame seeds was always given whenever a girl matured, she was given to increase the progesterone. So these foods were always given to the young girls. These seeds, the laddus made out of it, was always given to the young girls so that they have a proper balance of the hormones, whatever they are having. And the process of cooking was the excellent way, and we should be still doing it. No matter however busy we are, we still have little time to make these process of cooking very good. And we still have time, if we just plan it properly, to make a vegetable, to make one raita, to make a chutney powder, which can be prepared and kept for whenever weekends, you just can prepare and keep it. And then you can have these other fermented foods. You know, the grains actually usually have trypsin inhibitor, or the phytates it has. So the process of fermentation, soaking, and then cooking helps to remove all these anti-nutrial factors. And whenever you talk about resistant starch, this is what I was talking earlier also. Resistant starch is nothing but whenever you there was a tradition, whenever previous day you prepare the jowar rotis or the wheat rotis and you keep it, and next day when you eat it, actually it becomes starch resistant, and it is really very good. The glycemic index would be low in that particular food. And even rice, for that matter, there are many, you will not believe it, festivals wherein previous day the food is been prepared and next day you eat it, you know. So these actually just help to give you the resistant starch, whatever is there. And traditional Indian grains products are higher amount of resistant starch because of the whole grain ingredient what they have, and they are less intensive processing they don't go through. So they are really an excellent resistant starch, I can say. And now coming to the final output of it. Whenever I'm talking about a balanced diet, I don't want you to think always of the calories or how much I should be giving, whom I should be giving, which person I should be giving, what type of a diet, whether this is suitable for that. Best thing is include one vegetable curry, one salad or one raita, a pickle, and include one any of the other grains which is there, like your rice, one small bowl which is not polished. Okay, the unpolished rice you get. Don't go on thinking about I should be adding brown rice or I should be adding this. Or the best thing is millets you can replace with one roti. Okay, so this thing whenever you make, actually if you see curds, pickles, chutneys, raitas. These are all the things which are there in the thali, and it will make it a balanced thali. So please, whenever you're telling your patients, don't tell them about any of the high, you're not going to get so much of protein, go in for a protein rich food or go in for a thing. Just tell them that regularly, whatever you've been eating, make sure you include 1 grain size. If a person is diabetic or is prone towards diabetes or a gestational diabetes, make sure that you reduce the sweet, you don't add the sweet in it, and you reduce the grain size. Okay, let it be any of the millets also, reduce the grain size and increase the dal, whatever is there, the curry, whatever is there, the legumes, whatever are there. Okay, for the vegetarian diet I'm talking about. And if it is a non-veg, you can add a little of chicken, fish, or you can add little egg or whatever it is. So this thali will make it a balanced thali, I can say. And I'll not talk much about, this is my last slide. I just want to tell you that traditional fasting and the circadian rhythm, whatever we had, is the excellent intermittent fasting what you can have actually. And in the many of the traditions, you see that before sunset they eat and after sunrise only they eat. So that 12 hours of fasting is naturally over there. So you don't have to worry about it. So the nutrient metabolism is best when there is sun, and we are blessed to have sun. So you have to just follow whatever the diet system has been followed from ages that will give you the traditional fasting, which is the once in 15 days you do your fasting. That is an excellent way to do. And I just want to conclude by saying only one thing. Be intelligent, be wise, just don't follow all the things, because our traditional food has lots of research papers if you go and see on each and every nutrient or each and every ingredient, whatever is there. So you choose which is easy, which is sustainable, which is accepted by your culture. Don't go in for something like only a raw diet or only a protein diet. Please don't go for all those things, and make sure it is easy on our pocket also, because that is economically sustainable for the whole country as such. So please don't go on having those bulks of supplements what you can have, or just the non-vegetarian diet or just the vegan diet. Please, whatever you feel that you can digest, you should be taking this. So I want to just conclude by saying you choose whatever is best for you, and that is the balanced diet.
Perfect.
Thanks a lot. Yeah.
Dr. Sheetal. Just as the next moderator has mentioned, it was a crispy presentation. Yes, indeed, it was crispy presentation, and you did connect
the traditional fasting method with the circadian rhythm, which is the need of the hour, because we are seeing a lot of teenagers with metabolic disorders and PCOS in the peak horizon. Whatever you mentioned is every slide a take-home message for each practitioner. You did start with Annahe Purna Brahmaha. Yes, food makes us feel complete. And mentioned about sattvic, protein food, preserved food, for muscle power and for travelers for physical and mental fitness. You would probably have a lot of questions from the other side, where you mentioned about the resistant starch and millets. Of course, we know we've celebrated about recently this month, the millet month. And every practitioner wants to know more and more about the balanced diet. And I think we need to know more about the probiotic, probiotic, and as well as the symbiotic, which is the question from our patient desk more often. We look forward to keep questioning you and also seek some valuable answers from your desk. Moving on, I think Dr. Vidya Tobi is just got connected again.
No, I'm here. I stopped in between. So I will just start the panel, which is very good panel, and my co-moderator is always with me. So whenever I get disconnected, she gets connected. So we are internally connected, Sonia. So yeah, so we will be having a crisp discussion, and it will not be theoretical, I hope. So we will start our
I'll do the slide share, madam, for that. I'll do the slide share.
Yeah, Ritu, please.
Yeah, before you share the slides, madam, it is my opportunity to introduce Dr. Vidya Tobi and Dr. Ritu Khanna. Dr. Vidya Tobi is aware in the Kasoka platform. She is now the president and professor and unit head of Alamein Medical College. She is a Foxy Champion Award of 2019. She has various papers and awards to her credit. We won't take much time. The other moderator for today's session, we're presenting to this virtual platform is Dr. Ritu Khanna. And she was also being crowned with too many designations. To mention a few, she is presently chairperson of Foxy Food and Drug Medical Surgical Equipment Committee 2021-24, Secretary Society of Fetal Medicine UP chapter, and Central Executive Committee Member Society. Madam, in 2018, she is awarded BC Roy Memorial Award for outstanding contribution in the field of gynecology. And also in 2021, she's bagged the Presidential Award for her work. And she has many publications and awards to her credit. Madam, with 2 decades of overall medical experience, she is working in the field of infertility and ART for past 10 years. Ever smiling, both the moderators, ever smiling. And we believe, madam, a smile is the mirror of the heart. And I also believe that a smile is the only infectious gift everyone is encouraged to spread. With this note, over to you, Dr. Vidya. Module.
So,
over to you, Dr. Vidya.
Yes. Good afternoon, everyone. And really, it is my pleasure to invite my co-moderator and my dear friend, Dr. Ritu Khanna, on this platform. And she does very wonderful programs of food, drugs and medical surgical equipment committee. And this platform is on specifically on nutrition, and we have involved across India a few of the eminent panelists. First one is Dr.
Allow Zoom to access your camera from device menu settings.
What happened, Dr. What happened, Dr. Sonia? Shall I continue?
Yes, madam, you have to continue. Can you unmute the others other than the panelists and the moderators?
So I call upon Dr. Suma KB, who is a professor and unit head in JSS Medical College, Mysore. Next panelist. Dr. Bharti Rajshekhar is our secretary, past Secretary General and President-elect Kasoga. I will invite only in two lines. Dr. Kavita Bernard, she is senior consultant and laparoscopic surgeon, Samarpan Hospital, Munger. And she has got many credentials, and her CV is running in pages. So I will invite her in this. Dr. Dipti Jain, who is OBGYN consultant in Rohtak, Haryana. Welcome, madam. And next panelist, please. Dr. Lakshmi Sangoli is from my place, and she is assistant professor in associate professor in BM Patil Medical College, Bijapur. She is very great academician and very upcoming OBGYN. Dr. G. Prema Priya is from Vinayaka Mission, Kiru Pandegur. I hope I have spelled it very correctly. She's an associate professor in Tamil Nadu, and she has won many prizes in Foxy conferences. Next slide, please. And our dear Shruti Bhavi Patil, who is our EC member as well as associate professor and unit chief in Gadag, Karnataka. So these are various eminent panelists, and I hope they will definitely do justice. I'm making my video little shut off because of the length, wavelength, which is will be very less on the highway. So thank you very much, and I'll request Ritu to share the slides. We just wanted to know from the panelists how much importance they give for the nutrition in their practice as such. How many of you talk about nutrition whenever any patient enters in your clinic. So that we expect whenever you start talking to, yeah. So you talk whenever you start talking, you just talk about that. First, we are going to talk about nutrition. What is the importance of good nutrition? And I want Dr. Kavita Bernard to talk about the concept of good nutrition and healthy diet. We have discussed enough about overview. Yes.
Thank you, madam. Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Yes, you are
Thank
audible.
you. So thank you, Ritu madam and the moderator madam for putting this question. Good nutrition, we all know, it means eating a variety of food that give us nutrients we need to maintain our health, feel good and have energy. These nutrients should include carbohydrate, protein, fat, which are macronutrients, along with water, vitamins, minerals. So this good nutrition means avoiding processed food, avoiding fast food, and it should consider balance, variety, and moderation in everything that we eat. It should be rich in fruits, salads, millets, and there should be more of the fiber-rich food and more of the fruits, vegetables, because this healthy diet will
What is a healthy diet? That's what we want to know.
Yeah,
Many
healthy
times the
diet is
patients
one.
come, no,
Yeah,
they
a
ask
healthy
what is a
diet is
healthy
one
diet.
in which macronutrients are consumed in appropriate proportion to support energy and physiological needs without excess intake, while also providing sufficient macronutrients and hydration to meet the most of the physiological needs of the body. And these macronutrients, carbohydrate, protein, and fat should be 45 to 50%, 30 to 35%, and less than 30% of the total calorie intake. And it should provide energy necessary for cellular processes required for daily functioning. And macronutrients, which are vitamins, minerals, these are required in smaller quantities for normal growth, development, metabolism, and physiological function. So along with this nutritional things, we need to take water, plenty water, fresh air, and do certain yoga or exercises also to keep ourselves healthy. Besides nutrition, these all things are important for keeping us healthy, not only for physical, for mental. Taking healthy diet will prevent most of the diseases which are non-communicable, like heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, even certain forms of cancer. And also it will make us feel healthy. Avoid sugar, because this fresh sugar, refined sugar, is very dangerous thing, when we should have least amount of sugar only in certain things. Otherwise, we should avoid this food. And fat, which should be more of unsaturated fat rather than saturated fat. Saturated fat should be less than 10% of the total calorie intake. So this is the basic of the protein should be of more of the essential amino acids, and carbohydrates should be fiber-rich. So the more of the starch. So this is the basic food which we Indians used to eat our daily life. What we eat, our grandmothers and mothers used to prepare. So I think this is the best food which we have. But nowadays we are following Western food, and now that's why we are getting ill and we are having poor nutrition. Even in good families,
true, very true. And that's why we people say that it is Ayurveda also says that Rajasi, Tamasi food when should means what you are, what you eat. And there is an importance of this diet during different stages of life, as a toddler, during the reproductive age group. And then once we grow, we need different type of nutrient dense the food at different stages of life. Means at the reproductive age group, we need bodybuilding and protective foods, and which we get, we have to emphasize to get a right proportion of proteins. Proteins are very much neglected in our diets. So we eat mainly the carbohydrate rich foods, and we have to imbibe on all of our patient a good proteins also. So I thank you for giving your opinion about the what is a healthy diet. So one should always have a correct opinion and correct way of telling the patient about their diet. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, madam.
Vidya, madam. Hello.
So you can, next slide, please. Next slide.
Yeah, I've taken, madam. Vidya, madam, we are on the next slide.
So how is the BMI related? BMI related, can anybody answer about the BMI? Because Dr. Bharati is not there.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for at the outset. I would like to thank Vidya ma'am for the opportunity. Actually, BMI is an inexpensive and easy method of screening tool, which is used for screening or identifying an individual, whether the particular person is underweight, healthy weight, overweight, or having obesity. And also it is helpful for us to identify the potential weight related problems, especially during pregnancy. We all know that underweight women, she has got her own problems during pregnancy, and that problem also will be passed on to the newborn also. And pregnancy with obesity also, it has got its own consequences. So as Lakshmi ma'am told in the morning, low maternal BMI, especially less than 18.5, and the length of the height of the women less than 145, they're also associated with adverse reproductive outcomes like preterm delivery and delivering a small for gestational age babies. So we can consider BMI as a screening tool for nutritional status assessment.
Yes,
That's what I feel.
Also, I want to know that whether you do in your clinic this height and weight, have you put the charts, and
Yes,
do
madam.
you measure this BMI? That is very important, and as well as the mid-arm circumference. So that is very important to judge. And whenever we classify the nutritional risk, either the height if it is short, less than 145 centimeter, age less than 20 years, these are the nutritional risk patients, and low BMI, thin, very low mid-arm circumference, and if they're obese, and if there is an inappropriate gestational weight gain or overweight, these are all risk factors you have to classify in your clinic. And if you are overweight and obese pregnant, as you told, they are very much at risk of development of GM and other this and hypertensive disorders in pregnancy. So these things, but how you counsel these patients if they are overweight? What all counseling you will do for the management? You have classified it. She has got a high BMI. So what you do if the woman is obese, and what advice you will give? What are the do's and don'ts?
Most of the time during, actually, if the especially if the woman is overweight, the counseling is more important pre-conceptionally. Suppose if the patient has come out during pregnancy, I always calculate her BMI, and I do always take the help of our nutritionist in managing. And of course, the diet advice counseling is important. We have to keep in mind about her physical activity also. Depending on her physical activity, the nutritional aspect is considered, and that along with the dietitian or the nutritionist, we will be advising her diet plan.
Ma'am, I just want to add few points, ma'am.
Yeah, please add. Please add.
Ma'am,
because, this is very important. Every time nutritionist will not come, she is not every time to your help.
Yes,
So
BMI itself alone has certain limitations, ma'am.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because they can be normal BMI, but the body fat can be of high, ma'am.
Yes, very good.
So waist circumference, all these should be taken into consideration, ma'am. Age, gender, waist circumference, body fat, all those should be.
The nutritional risk and obesity is very risk factor, no? So one thing is, what do's you tell that small meals throughout the day that you can advise, plenty of the green leafy vegetable, fiber-rich fruits, and whole cereal like bajra and ragi as millets, like rajma and soya bean. That can be advised to these obese women. And if they are drinking the milk, fat-free, low-fat milk, they should take tea without sugar, and hydration is very, very important. And replace any big meal with this jawar chana pulao like this, and vegetables. So big meals should be avoided, and they should be distributed in smaller meals throughout the day. They should not eat fried and sweetened items. And of course, most important is the screening of regular blood sugar, blood pressure, and gestational weight gain. These are the very important things when the women are obese and they have got high BMI. What about low BMI? If the woman comes with the low BMI, what you will advise? She is underweight and very low BMI and she's very thin. These are also risk factors.
Again, madam, same thing, in association with the dietitian, we have to stress more on the protein-rich diet. And nowadays, the entity is balanced energy protein supplementation during pregnancy.
That's not the undernourished girls, they have got a likelihood of becoming undernourished mother. So it is again transgenerational. Okay, so intergenerational cycle, what we tell, and we have to avoid this. So they have to have a frequent meals, and then you have to advise them how they have got nutrient dense food they can eat. Many times we have got an idea that only non-vegetarian is a good protein, but there are vegetarian diet also, pulses and dals. Of course, you can supplement these proteins also in some form. So these things you should counsel them in underweight and overweight. So that's why the
Vidya ma'am,
importance of BMI. Yeah.
Vidya ma'am, I request you to be little louder.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Yes, Ritu, we can move on to the next
And I think the adolescents, they form a big part, a big chunk of our population. And I think they're the most pampered of the whole lot. So, Dr. Dipti, is this really of concern that we're moving to adolescents? Are we concerned upon that? Why is it so important to care for them? Hello, Dr. Dipti is there?
Yes.
Ankita, is Dr. Dipti there?
Yes, ma'am. Dr. Dipti Jain, madam, is here. Ma'am, just
She was
unmute
there.
yourself. Dr. Dipti.
Dr. Deepti, unmute yourself. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So healthy eating in adolescence is definitely very important because menstrual cycle has just begun. And so for the girl should be taking a lot of diet rich in proteins, iron, folic acid, iron and minerals like iron, copper, because all this is necessary to prevent anemia and also maintain an adequate hematocrit level so that her quality of life is good. And undernutrition definitely has to be taken care for, and a balanced healthy diet is the rule in this age group. But at the same time, we are also coming across girls who are getting obese because of sedentary lifestyle and junk eating. So we should be impressing upon them and stressing upon them to reduce the sugary food, junk food, which definitely needs to be controlled and contained to maintain an adequate body mass index. Obesity and overweight is a matter of immense concern these days.
And I think we get also some patients, I think, who have development of secondary sexual characters is also affected. And we never thought of them that undernutrition could also be a cause for all these factors. And of course, as Madam said, malnutrition, of course, could even lead to the health complications, which could be very long-term complications and on. So could you tell us certain risk factors, why they are at a risk for poor nutrition, these adolescents?
Adolescent, because the diet is unbalanced. They are taking more of their chocolates and junky foods, these high carb foods, and the sedentary lifestyle. What we call is a couch potato is becoming more and more common. Exercises are gone, these tuition classes, the times on the laptop and the mobile are increasing. That is why they are just sitting and eating unhealthy food. So one. Secondly, this is leading to the undernutrition. It is the wrong lifestyle which is disturbing the nutritional aspect of these girls.
Yes.
And
so as Madam said, yes, of course, the high fat, they just go for the low cost and availability of the food, which is very, very easy availability. And they have I think if you agree with me, Madam, they have a belief, the healthy foods are not very tasty and not like them. And it's more of our parental modeling too. We pamper them. We says, okay, she needs to study more, get her this, get her some pizza today, she'll do well. And so, and maybe some social media influence and all. And Another thing which is very important, maybe the skipping of the breakfast. They're always in a hurry. They skip breakfast and they're going to end up eating some fast foods. So because of this, I think they tend to take 40% of calorie intake from, as Dipti madam said, all these fat and sugar-rich foods and fruit drinks and burgers and this. So all the problems, of course, they arise. And yes, a lot of psychological problem. Dipti madam, I hope, and all my panelists agree, do we get adolescents with so many psychological problems? Hello? Hello? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
we do get adolescents with psychological problems. Hello? Is it all?
Yes.
Can you
Yes,
hear?
madam.
Yes, adolescents are having a lot of psychological problems because apart from the undernutrition, which is only a very smaller section of the society in the poor economic status,
yes,
I am what is more worried about the overnutrition, excess carbohydrate, and the increasing incidence of early puberty because of the pre-adolescent PCOS or the childhood PCOS, which is becoming more common. They will not have their menarche, and we give them a course of progesterone withdrawal, and they start with their menstruation. And we investigate, we find that even girls as early as 14, 16, they have obesity. And because of obesity, the PCOS, we have a genetic predisposition to diabetes in our society, an ethnic predisposition, and PCOS is becoming more and more common. In a particular study, in one study, it was found that almost 1 in 4 adolescent girls had PCOS. And as you know, the junk food and the carbohydrate-rich foods with high glycemic index will further worsen the insulin resistance in these girls with PCOS. And what is most important is the endocrino-metabolic triangle, the reproductive axis. The endocrino-metabolic reproductive axis is disturbed in these girls, which are very shortly going to be entering into the reproductive phase. So that is the time we should nip in the bud and control all these things.
Yes. And once I remember sitting in my busy OPD, you got the girl with a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, parents not able to go to a psychiatrist, not able to solve her. But the only thing was that she was not even taking her meals on time. So no meals, hurriedly going, nothing, some snacks, some to eat. And I don't know, she had gone into depression. So I think we really need to take care of these girls. And they take a lot of high sugar. They're at a risk of dental caries, diabetes, as madam said, obesity in future. And if they turn up, they are more to suffer from hypertension, heart disorders, and stroke when they turn out to be the adults.
Even gallbladder. Even
Yes.
gallbladder calculi have been discovered in this age group because of the unhealthy.
Yes. So I think all these habits need to be improved. So Dipti madam, again to you, how do we improve them? What do we have? We need to counsel, we need to how can we involve them? How can we make a change in these adolescents, towards nutrition?
Adolescent change, we need to counsel them. We need to give them a very careful diet plan. We can construct the diet plan according to the patient's lifestyle, like in impressing upon the low calorie toned milk and curds, dals, chana, makhana, all these need to be incorporated in the diet, almonds, and avoidance of all the high carbohydrate food, which is available so frequently and so easily, unhealthy eating, which is available, and impress upon them the 45 minutes of aerobic activity, lifestyle changes in them, 45 minutes of aerobic activity, diet, and if they have definitely gone into obese, we need to keep the circumference in abdominal circumference in Indian girls less than 80 or 80, 88 in the Western and 80 in our country, and a BMI less than 25 in all cases, by carefully scheduling their lifestyle with the diet, exercise, walk, and a healthy eating, adding beans, chana, groundnuts to the diet.
Yeah.
And
so any of my panelists would like and add something that we can do for the adolescents? Any of the panelists could add something? Dr. Kavita, Dr. Prema, or anything
Ma'am,
that
as Deepti ma'am mentioned, adolescent awareness should be created first, ma'am, regarding the nutrition and its long-term consequences, like developing of non-communicable diseases, development of cancer, diabetic hypertension, all those should be brought to them in the school age itself, ma'am, so that they follow a healthy diet and they become a good citizen.
Yeah. So thank you so much. And I think we're going to take this Food and Drug Committee along with Vidya Madam. We're going to move to all the schools, educating them for all these good, nutrition, what they really need to take, so that it puts into their mind, and along with prevention, and that's vaccination. And another thing which I thought, the adolescents, they crave for independence. They still look upon to their parents. So it's a responsibility of parent, And while you're going to a shopping, just involve them into a grocery shopping and planning of the meal. So they'll be more interested into this. And as Dipti Madam said, we need to experiment with certain recipes. We need to make makhanas and everything. And another thing which we really they need to follow regular meal times. If they do not follow the regular meal times, they're going to go into unhealthy practices, taking at the abnormal times, and they're going to eat excessive, I think, much more than that which is required. And they need to take a breakfast. We all parents, as parents, we need to ensure that they have their breakfast and go, because that's really going to affect their memory and their concentrations, be it at school or be it at colleges. And snacking, as Lakshmi Madam said, it's a commonest reason for taking a junk food. So avoid buying foods you want to your adolescents to have. So even we shouldn't buy them. And in front of them, we should take up some nutritive cookies or yogurts and fresh foods and all. And as a family, we need to ensure that at least one meal we need to sit and have together. So while we're eating them out, it's again our responsibility. Liquids, Madam said, yes, we need to tell them to take plenty of liquids, avoid, they to sit at a cafe and everything. They have a lot of caffeine. So that's going to produce sleep disturbances. And again, when they have sleep disturbances, it's going to affect their nutrition. So the social media influencing the adolescents, and they become very conscious. They're conscious, they stop eating. And the beautiful message which Sheetal Madam said, in a plate, it's not that you need to cut down your food. You need to reduce everything of this. You need to have some grains, you need to have some raita, some pickle and everything, so that it's a proportionate this. And another Dipti Madam said, yes, long hours of TVs and sitting there. And so USDA has formed a My Plate, which says these adolescents also should have 5 groups. Any of the child who is 2 years, more than 2 years, should take all the 5 groups of food into their plate. And that we've already discussed, and Lakshmi Madam also showed us. So thank you so much to all of you for putting in so many inputs. And we took so much of time discussing about the most important of us, and that's adolescents. So Dr. Prema, we were talking since morning. We need not only macro, we need micronutrients also. And a preconception period is a very, very important period. So how do you say, how is it going to affect, this preconception period, and what exactly we need to take?
Micronutrients such as vitamins and minerals are very essential for our healthy functioning of the body, ma'am. And it should be taken even in the preconception period itself. Lakshmi has mentioned in a very detailed session that folic acid is very important mineral that should be taken. And it should be taken to prevent the neural tube defects. Should be taken even before the conception itself. That is 3 months before the conception, ideally 400 to 800 micrograms. And it should be continued even till the first trimester of pregnancies to prevent as the organogenesis is happening during that time. And moreover that iodine deficiencies. So these micronutrients, if they are anything is lacked, they cause unique deficiencies. Like iodine deficiencies causes hypothyroidism. So all these should be treated even before conception itself. And this causes even impair the fertility itself and causes female sexual dysfunction. All those things can happen. And during pregnancy, if we take, already we are giving iron folic acid supplementation along with calcium, vitamin D. So these are very essential for the, especially calcium and vitamin D for fetal skeletal development, iron to prevent anemia, as the more demand is there during pregnancy. So micronutrients are definitely useful during preconception and during the pregnancy itself, ma'am.
Yeah, but Prema, do you agree? Many patients just ask us, I'm not pregnant, still why I really need to take it, it's pregnancy which is going to be effective. But this beautiful line which says maternal nutrition deficiencies can be rectified by a microenvironment in pregnancy. But sometimes, if you just supplement in pregnancy, that environment may not be totally enough to improve the long-term pregnancy and fetal outcomes. So that was the need that we wanted to give them. And it can affect your placentation. It can affect the growth of the placenta.
Yes,
so as Prema
it can
said,
even prevent preterm births, preeclampsia, even those who are overnutrition, they can be diabetic. All those things can be prevented, ma'am.
Yeah. And she said, yes, zinc, like we need to reduce the preterm labor, and iron, of course, low birth weight, and calcium, we said, to prevent preeclampsia. So if she's had a history, we really need to start her earlier. So the emphasis of micronutrients and so many things that Prema has already covered, and the folic acid, how much would you like to advise her for the folic acid, Prema, in a preconception period?
400 microgram, ma'am, at least 3 months before
but if
conception.
she has had a previous history of
5 milligram, 5 milligram, ma'am.
Then we advise them a higher dose, and that's 4 milligram.
Even if she is over diabetes also, 5 milligram, ma'am.
Yes. So previous NTD, diabetes, obesity, any anticonvulsant, we need to keep her on a 4 milligram, 4 weeks preconception to 12 weeks of gestation. So that is, yes, madam. Yes, madam.
About the the bioavailability of the
Yes,
tablet
madam.
what you are giving. So there are
Yes.
so many generations of folic acid. So
Huh.
fourth generation of folic acid has come in market. So any advantage? We all know that our diet is very folate deficient. So we have to supplement these women. And as you told that in some certain conditions, we have to give to the higher dosage. So
Yes, ma'am.
means which generation of folic acid you are using?
Ma'am, we are using second generation folic acid only, ma'am. But now
There
generation
Fourth
folic
generation folic acid
have
now.
come up now.
Quadrifolic
yes, ma'am.
acid is
Fourth
definitely.
They are more
methyl tetrahydride,
bioavailable.
methyl
They are,
tetrahydrofolate with
yeah,
glucosamine.
tetrahydrofolate, and those
That is
generations have
quadrifolic.
come in the market. They
Yes.
are
Yes,
very
ma'am.
useful. Start using that. Don't use second generation. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
That is
Sure,
the
ma'am.
take-home message. Yes.
Yeah. So we had all these generations of folic acid. Pardon?
Especially women with hyperhomocysteemia. Folate
Yes.
is 2 steps ahead in the generation, in the generation of hemopiesis. So folate would be a better option as compared to folic acid.
Yeah. So we first had the natural present, then we had the folic acid, then we had the calcium salt of 5-methyl tetraholate, which was the third and the fourth generation stands as the glucosamine salt. And we had a lot of advantages. As Prema said, now we've started using the fourth generation because Vidya madam said bioavailability of the folic acid is going to be lower and you need an enzymatic conversion. So the salt came, initially we had the calcium salt and then still that calcium salt had a low solubility and it was stable only at 2 to 8 degrees centigrade. So then came an innovation and that was the fourth generation that was the glucosamine salt of 5-methyl tetrahydrofolate. And the importance was, if any of the panelists would like to share with the importance of the fourth generation folic acid, the advantage over the third generation folic acid was. Any of you share? Yeah.
This is also an excellent option for mainly vegetarians, ma'am. That is what they say. And
Yes.
also it is known to provide natural whatever amount of folic acid is required for that particular women. This is known to provide natural amount of folic acid which is required for that particular women. And because it is directly provided, there is no metabolism compared to first, second and third generation folic acid. And of course, as Vidya madam and you also said, bioavailability is very good and it has got very good solubility also. So
I think its absorption is not affected by other things. It has better
Yes.
bioavailability and it should be given throughout the pregnancy. Nowadays, they say that it should be started before conception and it should be continued throughout the pregnancy. So
Yeah.
methyl tetrahydrofolate is better molecule as compared to earlier
Yeah.
folic acid.
So that was fantastic and a long-lasting stability and a high water solubility was there. So that improved bioavailability and well-established safety is there. So we deliver a finished folate that can be used immediately, no conversions, nothing used. And this was when the solubility was compared that because of the, it's 100 times more soluble in water than the calcium salt. So it was a high water solubility that it was better absorbed by the mucosal cells. And so that facilitated access to the blood and circulation and the potential of improving the bioavailability was this. And glucosamine, was added. It is a salifying agent and the amorphous chemical structure of the product was beneficial and amorphous state provides an intrinsic solubility granting homogeneous reproducibility solubility process, whereas crystalline alternative as a calcium could not do that. So that is why it had 1.8 times higher bioavailability than calcium and 3.1 than the folic acid, which was there. So it gives us a ready-made form. And as all of you said, and if we do the supplementation, I think we can take care of everything and after the pregnancy too, and the long-term effects. So Vidya, madam, over to you. Vidya, madam is there?
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
there. So I'm audible.
Yes, madam.
Yes, yes.
So next molecule, which is very, very important, is DHA. So always we talk of this DHA, how it is important and in which food it is available, diet, whether it can supply. All these questions come to our mind and everybody talks of this DHA. So can Lakshmi tell something about this DHA? What is a food source? From where we should get it and how much we get it? And what is the importance of DHA in the pregnancy and post-pregnancy in lactation also? So Dr. Lakshmi, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon, ma'am. At the outset, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity, ma'am. Thank you, Kasoga. And DHA. DHA, docosahexaenoic acid, is an important molecule. It is one of the most important omega-3 fatty acid. And it is polyunsaturated fatty acid, which is mainly accumulated in brain and retina. It is important for development of brain of the fetus as well as retina of the fetus. So there are many studies. There are many studies which say that the supplementation of DHA in second trimester, third trimester, and postpartum has improved the psychomotor neurodevelopmental effects and psychomotor skills of the newborn babies as well as up to 1 year of the child, as the brain development occurs from intranatal period till first 2 years of the child. So this supplementation of DHA helps a lot in the brain and retinal development of the fetus, psychomotor activity of the fetus, of the neonate as well. And in the mother, it helps in prevention of preeclampsia and preterm birth, and also improves the weight of the baby. So it reduces the risk of the weight of the baby. It improves the weight of the baby is what the studies have told. And it improves the placental circulation. So there are less chances of preeclampsia, and fetoplacental insufficiency is reduced by supplementing DHA. There are studies in Lancet and PubMed and American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, which have proved that supplementing DHA is in pregnancy and during the postpartum period helps a lot in neurodevelopmental effects, motor skills of the infant. And the recommendation, ACOG recommends 200 milligram of DHA per day to the pregnant and lactating mother. So, and natural sources of DHA are linseed oil, sunflower oil, flaxseed oil, soybean oil, fish oil. So these are the natural supplements, but because the natural supplement may not be absorbed or not taken daily by the pregnant woman, it is better to supplement. So clinically, we prefer to supplement them with 200 milligram of DHA from second trimester till 3 months of postpartum period, madam.
Yes, that is very true, and there are benefits to the fetus as well as mother. So, and biologically available active forms we should give to the mother, and there are plenty available in the fish and walnuts. Walnuts is again a good source of DHA, and usually this DHA is very safe to give to a mother because no much adverse birth outcomes. Okay, so do you regularly supply this DHA combinations to your patients, pregnant patients?
Yes, ma'am. Preferably, we have started prescribing DHA components, ma'am.
Yes. So there are so many studies are also available. So better to give this DHA in the last trimester. Placental transfer. We know that this DHA is plenty available in the breast milk. So breast milk is also a rich supply of DHA. Thank you, Lakshmi.
Even
thanks. Yes, Lakshmi.
There are studies that even DHA in lactation, ma'am, it stabilizes the mood.
Yes.
For the postpartum woman.
Postpartum woman. So during lactation, you should give to mother so that it is excreted in the breast milk, and then it gets the baby gets this DHA. So it is very excellent source of DHA for the fetus, infant. Dr. Shruti, can you highlight something about how to break this? We always talk of this Barker's hypothesis, all these hypotheses, Pedersen hypothesis. How to break this intergenerational cycle of malnutrition?
Yes, ma'am. Good afternoon to all. Can you hear, ma'am?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. We all have discussed like what the intergenerational cycle of malnutrition, which begins with a malnourished mother giving birth to a low birth weight baby. Then the baby enters into malnourished childhood, adolescence, and she further entering pregnancy in undernutrition. So to break this, I would feel first we have to concentrate mainly on the adolescents in our OPDs. So a lot of things we have talked about the adolescent age group between 10 to 19 years of old, because the changing trends and the nutritional changes or the diet changes, whatever we discussed, Ritu ma'am was saying. So that we have to concentrate. We have to stress the adolescents on the habits they are having. So increase in the consumption of healthy fruits, vegetables, and decreasing their screen time, as well as, and if at all if they are not able to take fortified foods or vitamin A rich fortified foods like salt or sugar enriched iodized salt. So all these things, in a lower class people, they may not be knowing about these micronutrients. So we need to emphasize on that. And of course, in the pregnancy and lactation, proper screening of their nutritional status is important, so that we give a better antenatal care for them at all the levels. So that is how, and first 1,000 days of life, that like Hemadevakar ma'am was saying. So even that we need to concentrate, beginning from the exclusive breastfeeding, and then again fortification of the foods. So everything we have to counsel the pregnant mother.
Yes. So the epigenetic changes during pregnancy, they take place. So if mother has a poor nutritional status, it results in the structural and functional alterations. So that can persist throughout the life cycle. That is what we say. So we have to break this cycle wherever. So preconceptional and in utero environment, whenever we talk, it has got its effect on even the potential oocytes and embryo responses also. This epigenetics has come a very long way, and your nutrition, and as we were talking of prebiotics, probiotics, all these have got potential fetal consequences and even potential long-term consequences in stunting, impaired neurodevelopment, even obesity, and the non-communicable diseases like cardiovascular and metabolic disorder. So it has got its profound effect on the next generation. That's what we talk of, and we are going to break this transgenerational, whatever the effect of nutrition, by breaking the cycle, by giving a proper balanced nutrition and in the right proportion and at the right time. So as Shruti, you told, we have to tackle from the adolescent and even in the preconception and during pregnancy, even postpartum. We always talk of medical nutrition therapy in gestational diabetes. We want to break that cycle in GDM also. So this is a very important thing. Let us talk something about the proteins. Ritu, can you take over?
Yes, madam. Suma, madam, we say, we always push our patients, take protein, take more of protein. But do we think something balancing the protein and energy supplements, does it really work in reducing the stillbirth and small for gestational age? Is that true?
Yes, madam, definitely it is true. We all know that adequate and balanced nutrition during pregnancy is very much crucial for both mother and also the growing fetus. And we all know that maternal malnutrition can be the cause for stillbirth, and also it might lead to preterm deliveries and also delivering a small for gestational age baby. And also there is a positive effect with balanced energy protein food supplementation, along with iron, folic acid, and calcium supplementation, which we give during pregnancy. But the evidences also say that it requires more of research into this aspect of nutrition. And actually, BEP, what we say, that is balanced protein, energy protein supplementation. It is like it is a form of the food supplement which is added to the daily home prepared food. And this increases energy, macro and also micro nutrients intakes among the pregnant women, and it actually fills up the nutrient gap which is there without displacing the naturally food intake in the pregnant woman. And the most important thing with this is this nutritional supplementation. It provides proteins which is less than 25% of the total energy content which is there in her diet. And also in the 2016 WHO antenatal care guidelines also states that BEP supplements during pregnancy, they are known to reduce the risk of stillbirth and also small for gestational age babies, and especially providing them during the postnatal period up to the extent of... Hello?
Yeah. We can hear you, Suma ma'am.
And continuing the BEP supplementation
Hello.
postnatal, minimum at least for 6 weeks, they have done the study which says that it is going to help in the linear growth of the child also.
Yes.
So in that way, the balanced energy, protein energy supplementation is very much crucial for a pregnant woman.
Yes. So they said 12.3%, this balanced energy produce a higher fetal growth. So we really need to check, is our really diet enough, and follow all the recommendations of ICMR. We've already discussed with pregnant women, then lactation 0 to 6 and 6 to 12 months. So whenever these, as madam said, you get, the expansion of blood volume, growth is good, the growth of the fetus placental. So additional protein is essential. If we look into this, at least 10% of the weight gain in pregnancy is being contributed by proteins. So we need to take care of this balance. And there are studies, as madam said, that yes, if you give them, it reduces, if we go into this, the small for gestational age and the undernourished babies also. So it reduces stillbirths by 40% and small for gestational age by 21%. And even the mean birth weight increased by 41 grams. So we have a lot of studies saying, and it positively correlated, as Suma ma'am said, neonatal head circumference, chest circumference, birth weight, whole length, foot length, everything was dependent on this balance. So we need to take care of this balance. And inadequate, so we would like to end up, I think, saying inadequate energy or protein intakes in pregnancy have been linked to an increased risk of non-communicable diseases, type 2 diabetes, obesity in the offsprings. So during pregnancy, there's a higher requirement, we all know, and we really need to take care of this. So in cases where the fetal environment is not matching with the adult environment, the fetal development is occurring in a nutrient-poor environment, as you say, a maternal starvation. When it is coupled with a nutrient-rich adult environment, the resulting catch-up growth and disconnection among the fetal programming and the adult environment can really predispose to adult metabolic diseases such as obesity and type 2 diabetes. And as Vidya madam said, it's epigenetics. We really need to learn more about this and counsel even our adolescents, even our pre-pregnancy conception patients. Yes, we need to take care of this because a healthy outside really starts from inside. And so we must know and counsel this about this to our patients also. With them, madam, if we've got another 3-4 minutes, I'll just take few MCQs to our panelist. Short questions.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. So to my panelist, Dr. Kavita, vitamin D deficiency has an effect on fertility. Is it true or false? True. So that's very right. Genes don't want to be making proteins continuously. So they need to be turned on and off. That's regulators. And one important regulator is vitamin D. And why is it important? Because over 230 vitamin D receptors are there in the nucleus. They are found everywhere in the male and the female system of reproductive and epithelial lining, Sertoli, Leydig, germ cells, spermatozoa, mature sperms, uterus, ovaries, everywhere. So they're going to, these receptors really need to be there. So deficiency will play an important role. Dr. Dipti, proteins being one of the key nutrients for normal physiological function constitutes for so much of total weight gain during pregnancy we need to really take care of. 20, 25, 18 or 10%.
25%.
Yeah, but the statistics says it's around 10% of the total weight gain that is occurring in the pregnancy. Dr. Prema, the best vegetarian source of protein: casein, whey, soy, hemp, pea protein.
Soy protein.
Yeah, so the soy is said to be the best protein. Dr. Lakshmi, good food for PCOS, refined carbohydrates and processed food, false or true?
False, madam.
False. Yes, so they really need to avoid refined carbohydrates and sugars in their process. Why? Because it's going to rise, bring hypes into the insulin spikes. And whenever they need to take a whole fruit instead of juices, and they need to take the whole foods more so that the less the processing is, the less would be the effect to them. Dr. Shruti, all are protein-rich sources except for paneer and cheese, legumes, lentils, whole grains, soy products, and lemonade.
Lemonade.
Yes. So that won't give you, if you keep having those drinks, that will not give you good sources of food. So, Suma ma'am, ICMR recommends additional so much milligrams of calcium per day in a lactating woman, 400 to 800, 300 to 700, 500 to 900, or 600 to 1200.
400 to 800.
For a lactating woman, it's a little more.
Pregnancy 1000. So lactation, it is around 2000.
600 to 1200.
600 to 1200, yes. And because breastfeeding transfers approximately 200 calcium per day. So needs to have a good amount of calcium with her. Dr. Lakshmi, there are 10 food groups for balanced diet. You need to take at least 3 groups, 2 groups, 5 groups.
5 groups.
5 groups.
Yes. So that has to go as a message that a plate needs to have all the 5 groups. And we should remember the thali that Sheetal madam really put in front of us. These are all the 10 groups. So we must have at least 5 of these groups into our diet. So in the end, I would like to say healthy life is obtained from consuming healthy food. Healthy foods are a rich source of nutrients and minerals. Children, young and adult must consume healthy food in their diet. Eating healthy food keeps your health free from all kinds of diseases. Eating healthy food keeps everyone healthy and fit. Vegetables, fruits must include in our daily diet, and children must not deny eating it. So thank you so much. And over to you, Vidya madam also.
Thank you, Ritu. It was very great panel, and all the panelists have put
Yes.
their whole nutrition and the clinical experience does matter. And what I want to give a message is just go through FIGO nutritional guidelines and have a checklist, nutritional checklist, put it in your clinic and just take one checklist, one to tick, calculate the calories, how much she is eating, keep that BMI card, and let us do some registry that how many of us really are following about this new and how much, hardly 5 to 10 minutes. We cannot send every patient to the nutritionist. So please be aware that these things does matter, and the nutritional interventions, folic acid at the right time, preconceptionally, this is very important. We always talk of anemia mukta Bharat, but somewhere anemia cannot be eradicated. So iron supplementation is very important. Third is the right proteins. Proteins also is very important. Vitamin D. These are the very important micronutrients and macronutrients, as we were talking about DHA. All these things one should include in not only in the diet. Many times diet are deficient, and we have to see the social strata also. We cannot.
Madam, iodized salt also. Madam, iodized salt also should be added.
Yes, iodized salt also. Now Sonia and Sheetal have joined. They also can put their inputs and take home messages. Thank you, Macleod, and all the people on Sunday. So many people joined on nutrition. So nutrition is such an important subject, and yes, nutrition day. So let us implement all the nutritional guidelines and let us move ahead.
Actually, I had some puja, so many guests have come here, so still I could join. So thank you, madam.
Thank you. Sheetal madam wanted to add something.
Yeah, I just want to add, which Dr. Vidya told just now. Vidya ma'am was talking about FIGO nutrition checklist, and we are developing this. Few of Dr. Shobha would be knowing about it. Few other people, staff, we have been training, including in our Manyata actually. It's a best tool wherein you can screen the nutritional status of a woman, including what all food she's been eating and the micronutrient deficiency if she's going to have. So we have developed it, and we have actually put it in a Google form also. So very soon with Dr. Hema Divakar's guidance, I'll just find out and will make it available for everyone in India. In fact, we have modified it in foods, in fact.
And Bharti madam has joined, Vidya madam. Bharti madam has joined, I think. Bharti madam, are you there? I could just see her. Okay. So another thing, Sheetal madam, a lot of patients come up with the intermittent fasting. So your views?
Yeah, actually, that's one whole session we can have on intermittent fasting, the traditional fasting, what we have. But simple thing I just want to say, please don't do all the extra things.
From the Food and Drug
been
Committee
seen
in
over there.
Kasoga, we can just
Yes.
yes,
The best and the simple, easy thing, what I can say is just before sunset, finish your dinner. That is the dinner. And next day morning, you can have your regular breakfast by 9 o'clock. So that's the period, what is a convenient and a very good period. And in between, whatever it is there, have a balanced diet. That's the simple thing to be followed. Don't do anything more, like just 6 hours eating and all, that you're going to develop acidity, you're going to develop all other problems, in fact, with the gut issues.
Right. So thank you, Kavita. Dr. Bharti couldn't join. I could just see her. Dr. Dipti, Dr. Prema. You're there, Dr. Bharti? Yes, madam. Yes, we're missing you, for the panel. Any new inputs that some important message, Bharti, madam?
Yeah, my message is never miss your breakfast. See that
yeah, that's the most important, madam.
And as colorful as the rainbow, that's how I put it across to my patients. Tell them, see that your plate is colorful with vegetables, with the pulses, and with the carbs there. And don't go on binge fasting, and just take everything in moderation, and see that your BMI and your waist hip ratio falls within the normal standards, and have a regular exercise protocol to keep yourself fit and healthy.
Yeah, and I think the meals on time.
Yeah, meals on time.
Yeah.
I think that's the doctor. We ourselves need to do that first. Yeah. We are very bad.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
So much,
Thank you, all the panelists, Dr. Ritu and all the delegates, faculties. I just want to invite Mr. Gopal Sharma from Macleoids.
Thank you so much to Macleoids for making us connected.
And they always support nutrition webinars and nutrition programs. So I would like to hear from him. Mr. Gopal Sharma.
Good afternoon, everyone. If I'm audible, please. Yeah,
yes,
good afternoon,
everyone. You are audible. You are audible.
First of all, it's a pleasure to get associated with the Karnataka State of Obstetric and Gynecology Association on a very auspicious day, what we call the World Nutritional Day. And the Nutriconnect, which has been happened today, I would like to thank the entire Karnataka Association body, especially right from MG Hiramat, Dr. Nagaraj, who's the patron of Koga, then Dr. Hima Divakar, again the Dean of Koga. Very vibrant team which is currently working, I must say, Dr. Vidya Thobi, Dr. Rajshri Padadi, then Dr. Suman Gadi. Then coming to thanks and special convey our regards for the chief guest, Dr. Revti Jankiram. Then coming to along with Dr. Savanti Ghosh and Dr. Mandakini Megh and the eminent speakers. I must say, once I even listened all the most nutritional things what you people have shared today. Especially, thanks to Dr. Lakshmi, Dr. Sheetal Joshi, and Dr. Ritu Khanna. You made us to remember our grand nanny and grand dadi. Why she used to put all the things in our thali. That nowadays the people have started running from all those healthy food, right from pickles to the other things. What you said. Nowadays the people run from all those.
There used to be really tasty pickles that we used to get.
They used to be very tasty and very delicious also. But nowadays the people run from it. Okay, it will have some. You see the side effect, maybe the diabetes or maybe something like this. Yes, the most important factor which I will say that both the moderates. Thank you very much, Dr. Ritu Khanna and Dr. Vidya Thavi, and the panelists. Everybody has played a very wonderful role while conveying the parts of the different the food habits, as well as along with it what the nutritional values, what each we eat, right from the proteins to the DHA to all those. And thank you so much, Dr. Soma, Dr. Bharti Rajashekar, and Dr. Dipali Jain, and Dr. Prema Priya, Dr. Lakshmi, Dr. Kavita Banwal, and Dr. Shruti Bharvi Vatal. Thank you so much. And I would like to tell that we as a company, Macleod, would always love to get associated with all such educational program wherever you find us suitable to get associated with you.
Yes.
It's our privilege.
Thank you for the support.
It's our privilege, and thanks to you all, to the eminent personality, to listen so patiently. I think hundreds of the people across the doctors across the country has joined this program, and I'm sure they must have taken so much of the valuable information what you have shared right now. Thank you so much, ma'am. Please.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Get associated with Miss our Osteo division, which is fully dedicated to the gynae itself only. Kindly keep on supporting this division and our people, and do support us in all the ways. We'll be always there with you. Whenever you think for us, Macleod is there. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thanks to my head office team also.
Thank you.
I will be too
Sharma.
selfish if I don't name Dr. Sonia Mandakpa. She has been so superb
She was-
coordinator. I tell you,
She
after
was
listening,
wonderful,
and
wonderful.
before taking the name, yeah, she has been a very superb in giving the description
Remarks,
of
yeah.
every panelist, pre
I
and
think it
post
was,
also. Thank
Sonia,
you so
it was
much, Doctor.
flawless, flawless connection.
Yeah,
Flawless and
flawless, no
always
issue.
connecting to each other.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you,
Yes,
Mr. Sharma,
yes.
for your kind words. But then
I think thank you is not enough for this virtual platform because we know the moderation was superb, and the panelists did do justice to their term when the question was posed. From folic acid to DHA to protein, an update on vitamin D and importance of soya. Lots of myths about nutrition these days because we are exposed to social media, we are exposed to a lot of information, but what is correct is what we need to check on. So we had a vibrant team today on this virtual platform, and there was a rapid fire round by Dr. Ritu. And a rapid wrap up by Dr. Vidya. Vidya ma'am, as usual. Everything would definitely end with a thank you. But then it is not complete until unless we answer questions, which is in the chat box. If we can just spend another 2-3 minutes, I think we'll do justice to the attendees who have put their questions in the chat box. If I could have Dr. Lakshmi and Dr. Sheetal Joshi, Ritu Khanna ma'am, and Dr. Vidya Tobi, we will make it very fast. The first question by Dr. Jyoti Krishna. What are your insights in intermittent fasting? I think just now Dr. Sheetal Joshi did answer. We move on to the next question. What does your say about saturated fat and desi ghee consumption? By Dr. Kanchan Sharma. Dr. Sheetal, you would like to answer?
Yes. Again, coming to, I'm just concentrating more on the traditional way of eating. We never had so much of trans fat in our food. We always had the ghee, which is not trans fat. It is just, yes, a little amount of saturated fat. And we always had a system wherein there were certain foods which go along with ghee. There were certain foods which were deep fried in certain type of oil, and there were different type of oils and way of cooking. So if we follow the same system, we are not going to consume excess of fat, what is required. And our Indian traditional food do not consume, do not have so much of trans fat or the other fat. We have a balanced diet. Even today, I want to say, because when introduced the vegetable oil, I mean the dalda, which was introduced in between, that was all in between. If you go back and see, traditionally, they were excellent. Ghee you can use. Even today, ghee is the excellent thing. And there is a limitation for everything. There is you can overdo anything for that matter.
Yes. Next question by Dr. Radha. Role of soya protein in menopause. How much quantity and how often we need?
Should I take this or is there any?
Yeah,
Yes.
go on, ma'am. Yes, madam. Sheetal madam can take no problem.
Yeah. Because soya protein is actually not very much an Indian protein, you can say. But yes, we had all other proteins which were there. But I can say that there is during menopause also soya you can take, or during with thyroid also you can take soya, because we are not the people who are eating just in all meals the soya. The limited soya, whatever we have is excellent, because especially for the vegetarians, soya protein would be the excellent food to be taken. It can be taken during menopause. It can be taken if you have thyroid. There are no issues at all. You can take it. But of course, yes, there is a balanced way of taking everything. You cannot overdo anything.
Okay.
People just take supplements of soya supplements 3 times a meal and all those. They skip their breakfast and have only the soya protein. Such things should not be done.
Do you recommend any proportion with the wheat flour 3:1 or 2:1?
Yes,
for
actually, what I say that wheat, 60% of the wheat, 20% soya flour, and 20% besan, that is gram flour. Also, you should be adding so that you increase the protein content of the regular rotis what you've been making.
Right.
That is a diet roti. Actually, we have named it.
The next question by Mr. Sandeep proves that the technical support and the Macprot's entire team was witnessing on a Sunday morning how vibrant we practitioners are in the journey of nutrition. So the next question from Sandeep says that, are there any particular dietary consideration for pregnant women with specific conditions such as hypertension or food allergy? So
ideally,
anyone from the panel will take it.
Ideally, they should, yes. Ideally, they should consume around 2 grams per day for prevention of preeclampsia. There are many studies. So 1 glass of milk will give you 125. That means maximum you have to drink 1 liter of milk to get 1 gram of calcium. That much we don't take. So additional supplement definitely we have to give through the tablets only.
Yeah.
And there are many salts of calcium which are available, and they say that calcium citrate mylate is very good. It has got a good absorption, so that is mostly prescribed.
Right. I think there was some
As
network
Vidya
issue.
Madam was saying, the basic thali needs to be same, but for diabetics, just remove the sweets. For pregnancy, add as much of proteins more, add a glass of milk more. Sheetal Madam, is that correct? Sheetal Madam?
Unmute, Dr. Sheetal.
That's the whole message actually.
Yeah.
Just
yeah.
modify the small
Modify
things,
the
whatever
thali.
are there.
Yeah.
Modify the thali. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you customize.
Yes, customize it.
We teach them Sheetal.
Yeah. Because you need to give fiber, you need to give vegetables as fiber, and everything needs to be added, as Sheetal Madam said.
I think one last question to go to Dr. Sheetal. It's a question from my end. You did mention about resistant starch. Which food is rich in the daily available needs?
Actually, especially when we talk about resistant starch these days, actually, it is actually in small intestine, it does not get absorbed. That's the reason actually. And the fiber content, it acts as a fiber in your food, in fact. So how starch is from the grains, what you have, the whole grains we are talking about. And when you process it, when you do it, like the chapatis done previous day, or the rotis done previous day, or the rice done. If you see in, there are many places in Odisha and all, wherein the previous day rice, whatever has been done, they soak and keep it, and next day they take it. That is nothing but the resistant starch what you are having. It comes from the grains especially.
Okay. Thank you so much. And then I think we'll wrap up this question answer session, and audience can definitely mail or write to us or put it in the chat box in the next 2-3 minutes. We'll put forward the questions to the authorities. Moving ahead, I think saying thank you is more than good manners, but then it also says it's good spirituality. So we wrap up with a vote of thanks from EC member of Kasoga, Dr. Suman Gedde. Madam?
Yeah. Good afternoon, one and all. Of course, it was a real brainstorming session. So I thank for this webinar. I first of all thank Dr. M.J. Hiramat, who's the Chief Patron of Kasoga, Dr. Nagaraj, who's the Senior Patron of Kasoga. I also thank Dr. Hema Devakar, Dean, KCOG, and past President of Kasoga, all for gracing this occasion. I also thank the Chief Guest, Dr. Revati Janakiram, for her few words of wisdom as a Chief Guest. And I also thank Dr. Sebanti Ghosh, who was the guest of honor for this webinar. Our esteemed
Madam,
And
you're not
Dr. Sheetal.
audible.
I'm not audible, ma'am?
Yeah, now you are.
You are
Now
audible
you
now.
are.
Yeah. So I thank the esteemed speakers who are excellent. They, of course, gave very good take-home messages. Dr. Lakshmi Shikhande and Dr. Sheetal Joshi, thanks for that. And of course, the last part of the webinar, which was the panel discussion, was too good, which was moderated by Dr. Vidya Tobe and Dr. Ritu Khanna, and the panelists also did a great job. Dr. Suma, Dr. Dipti Jain, Dr. Prema Priya, Dr. Kavita Panwal, Dr. Shruti Bobby, and Dr. Lakshmi Sangoli. Thanks a lot. Then I thank Dr. Vidya Tobia, President of Kasoga, for this wonderful webinar. Who's the President of Kasoga. Then thanks to Dr. Ashi Paladi in her absence. And I thank our academic partners, Macloids and makers of Macprot and Macprot SF for providing this platform. And I also thank the technical team for this webinar. So once of all, I thank one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, madam. Gratitude is the most exquisite form of courtesy. To mention a few, I should make a mention that Ankita Singh was the backbone behind this.
Thank you so much, Doctor, for giving.
She was one connect to both doctors and the technical support. Thank you very much,
She
Ankita.
did a wonderful job. She has
Thank you so much. Thank you,
good.
ma'am.
Yeah.
Dr. Sonia, ma'am, if you allow, on behalf of Macloids Ostiva, we would like to highlight the, the multiple roles of protein, which is associated throughout the different stages of life, for which we have designed a video. So if you allow, can I share the video with you?
Yes, with permission of Dr.
Thank you so much,
Vidya
ma'am.
Tobe
Thank you.
and others. Thank you so much, Ankita. Definitely, we'll take a pledge today. And this platform has really given a meaning for World Nutrition Day. And this is our responsibility. And definitely, we urge for it. With this, I also recognize, and I also want to thank, before we wind off, with Ankita, Mr. Gopal Sharma,
and
Ravi Modi.
we also have Mr. Ravi Modi, sir, available.
The office team is also there by
Yes, I did make a mention of it now.
Ma'am, Sonia ma'am, Mr. Ravi Modi, sir, is also available.
Yeah, Mr. Ravi Modi is also there.
I have made a mention of Mr. Ravi Modi. I did recognize. I recognized Mr. Nikhil, Mr.
Ravi sir, you are on mute.
And Mr. Sandeep, along with Mr. Vinod Kumar and
Mr.
Gopal
Narendra is also there.
Yes,
yeah, Sonia madam, the take-home message is the balanced diet, and the balanced diet is only complete with the balanced nutrition also. This diet, along with the nutrition that we have with Macleots, we are committed for the nutritional balance with this nutrition and balanced diet plus balanced nutrition, and that is with what we have played the video is completely giving us the meaningful answer to this nutrition day, that is balanced nutrition. So balanced diet, which I have taken from Dr. Lakshmi Shikhande, that balanced diet, and the Indian and traditional diet, which is balanced diet, is taken from Dr. Sheetal Joshi. So there's two things which makes together this Macprot, which is complete diet, to this complete diet plus complete nutrition, to this all what we can give in Nutrition Day. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for giving us opportunity to be a part of this program, this nutritional program that is with Kasoga. Thank you, Vidya Tovi madam. Since long we have been associated with Vidya Tovi madam, and thank you madam for conducting such a nice program on the very auspicious day.
Thanks for partnering with us. And if you, Mr. Ravi Modi, if you recognize our flyer and you see every picture on the flyer is with a smile. With the every practitioner is with a smile. That's why I mentioned that smile is the mirror of the heart, and your smile is when you're healthy, and healthy is when you take a good nutritious diet. With this note, I think we'll wrap up. It was a wonderful
with a smile, with a smile.
And we'll definitely take a picture. Ankita, you should
Yes, ma'am. I would request
everybody's smile.
Attendees to please keep your video on so that we can take the screenshot. Yes.
And with a smile.
Thanks, Dr. Prema Priya, Aditi, Dr. Kavita.
Yes, Dr. Amit Kamra, sir. Dr. Kavita, Dr. Aditi.
Dr. Suma.
Dr. Sonia Mandappa, thanks a lot.
Thank you so much, madam. I was searching for your video now for a recap now. Thank you so much, madam.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, madam.
Thanks to the Macprot team, bhai.
Thanks a lot, everyone.
And
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Kasoga, and thank you, Vidya ma'am. Thank you, Dr.
Thank you. Thank you, Kasoga. Thank you, Sonia.
Thank you
so
so much,
much.
ma'am.
Thank you, Vidya madam. Thank you, Macprot team. It was fantastic, I think. Thank you.
So I'll be off. I'll be finishing the meeting.